everybody.
Hello.
My name is Marc Bernardin.
I am Dani Fernandez.
And this is another episode of Blackman Beyond. Hey!
Yes.
How are you?
I'm good. So Fat Man Beyond.
Fat
I feel
Man
like
yeah.
/ thick Latina. Like, how can I also be a part of this brand?
Oh, we can make it happen. Okay, so what is your recollection of the first time that we met? Because I have a different one, I think.
Well, we met on Twitter.
We
Does
did.
that count?
Sure, but real life.
We grabbed dinner at Kitchen 24.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's not how I remember it. Yeah.
No, well, please tell me.
When I worked at Playboy, at the Playboy.com, I was the culture editor, entertainment editor, whatever it was, and we threw a comedy hour.
Oh yes, yes.
Where we invited, we realized. Is this on? Hey, there we go. We, we're fucking Playboy. We had this awesome office, and we also had video equipment. We're like, why don't we do like a comedy showcase? And one of my colleagues decided to like just wrap her arms around it and set it up, and you were one of the performers that said comedy thing.
You know what was so funny is I came in, and when I do stand-up, I'm just wearing like a hoodie and Converse, and you show up to Playboy, and there's all these playmates, and they're like everything snatched, and the boobs are not the size of mine, and I show up at the front door, and they look at me, and they're like, oh, she's one of the performers.
Ooh.
But you know, they hooked me up with drinks, so.
You know, some days, that's all
That's all you need.
That's
Some
all
days
you
that's all
fucking
you
need.
can get.
So for the people at the homes who aren't intimately familiar with the things that you do, why don't you just tell us who you are, where you're from, what you're all about?
Where I'm from. I'm kind of from all over. Did you know that about me?
I didn't know.
I went to high school at Frisco, Texas, home of the Fighting Raccoons. But my family is from San Diego. They moved us there because they hated us when I was like 13. It's not even Dallas proper. It's like outside of, I'm sorry, Frisco, if you're watching. Also, I'm not even on the Wikipedia. What? Okay, so if you go to Frisco High School Wikipedia, this is going to be my rant. If you go to Frisco High School's Wikipedia, the only notable alumni is a dude who played one game of MLB baseball. One game. It was like his first ever game was May 10th, and his last game was May 10th. It was like just one single game. I need to add mine in there. Yeah.
Do you like write back to your alumni magazine and be like, motherfuckers, do you not know?
Well, people will be like, just add yourself. And I'm like, no, I have too much pride to add myself. Like, I don't know. Someone else, please add me. Things where you have seen me. I wrote in a book called The Good Immigrant, which was really cool. It's a collection of essays from actors and writers of color. I also got to play myself in Ralph Breaks the Internet, which was really cool. I was made into a Disney character because I host at Nerdist and Geek and Sundry, and I've been on Sci-Fi and all those things. So I've hosted all over the internet, and Disney and E, and so they made me into me.
And you are also, if I'm not mistaken, a fancy-ass writer person.
Yeah, I'm writing on a Netflix show called Girls on the Bus, which will come out in 2021. And then I also just sold a show to HBO Max about my life.
Ooh.
Thank you.
You're so fancy.
Roy Wood Jr., who's from The Daily Show and Comedy Central, he is producing it. Really cool. Really dope.
Wow.
I'm excited.
You're
me.
You're my hero.
Am I?
Absolutely. Not like facetious at all.
But did we actually meet at Playboy?
We did in passing. I remember it.
You came up and said,
like
my
one
name
of us
is Marc.
remembers having met you, and the other one is like, we had brunch once.
That I initiated. You actually came up to me and said, hi, I'm Marc Bernardin.
I was introduced to you. It's like, hi, this is Dani. I said, hey, Dani, how are you? I run the website. And you're like, oh, cool.
That sounds like something I would say. Okay.
Well, that's all right. One of my favorite, one of my best friends was the producer of Gene Simmons' Family Jewels, right? My friend Adam. And consequently, I have met Gene Simmons like 4 or 5 times, which is fucking weird and random and insane. But I got to go backstage when Kiss was playing Madison Square Garden, which is ridiculous because it's like fucking Rockville Holla, and here are the oldest titans in the business, and they're fucking like all strapped in there like demon gear and whatever, and they're doing a little meet and greet, and one dude comes up to Gene Simmons and goes, "Hey, Gene, I don't know if you remember, but I met you like 4 years ago in Akron, Ohio." And Gene looks at him straight in the face, not even a smile, and he says, "If you had my life, would you remember you?"
Wow!
And I was like, oh.
Wow,
My
Gene!
God. Like his ancestors felt that. Like, oh, Jesus. I'm gonna, I'm dead now. Goodbye. And so sometimes I feel that way about myself.
Oh, my gosh.
You wouldn't remember me if you met me.
But it was a packed night. I had to perform. You know what I'm doing before that would be like going over my set list and being like, am I sweaty? And can I remember the joke about my mom? Like, I don't know. I'm sorry.
I blame nobody for nothing, because in that situation where there are like playmates everywhere and open bar and pressure, I wouldn't remember me either.
But I did reach out to you and I said, "Hey, friend," from
totally
Twitter, "will you go to Kitchen 24 with me?" Which is also cursed. I've taken I've taken like boyfriends there, and all of the relationships, and at Kitchen 24, it will be like fighting about something there.
Well, I'm now honored to have survived.
You have, so far.
I've made it through the Kitchen 24 gauntlet.
I'm really nervous. I never want to go back there again.
It's right on the corner.
No, it's
You want to
haunted.
drink afterwards?
Do
No?
not take your loved one.
Good. Ringing endorsement, Kitchen 24. Don't bring anybody you like.
We did something together. We were both on the CW together.
Yeah, the Crisis Aftermath
Yes,
show.
so many people wrote me about that.
I know, that was so weird and random. It's the like, Kev is doing a thing, and he's like, "Hey, you know it'd be awesome if you brought Mark too." And I'm like, "Yeah, it would. Bring me and pay me some money."
You just wanted to see the Crisis episodes early.
The roughest fucking cuts of the Crisis episodes.
That's true. Y'all don't know, but what they edit out, like what we saw, every time they move, you can hear the rubber. Like, just as they're moving,
Yeah.
it's like...
And it's just like, it was so previs. There's a bunch of dudes like on a set punching nothing and like swinging bows at empty shit. And it's like, oh no, this will be great once they put in the bad guys and the music and the drama. But yeah, so we did that, which was super fun. You refereed the trivia game that I'm pretty sure that I won.
I'm pretty sure you did
That was
win.
rigged for Kevin to win, because I get it.
Yeah.
Like, he's your fucking host. You're not going to truck him in from Akron, Ohio, wherever he was on tour. They'd be like, "You lost trivia."
I think you did win, yeah.
I fucking killed it. I'm just saying.
That's just for Reddit to know. But
Yeah, just between us girls
And
here.
just between us and 400,000 people.
Yeah, on Reddit. I've been watching some shit on the televisions and the internets. First, did you watch the Super Bowl at all?
I did.
Did you watch the commercials of the Super Bowl?
You kind of have to.
Yeah. Did you also make everybody in your house shut up when the Falcon and Winter Soldier came on the screen?
Oh, yes and yeah, totally awesome. Yes and no, because I knew I'd be seeing it everywhere like the next year. So
yeah,
it was funny though. The person I was with, Mark Ellis, who we both know, who's really funny. Great guy, super great guy. Except if you're trying to ask a question during the Top Gun trailer, and then he's not a nice guy. I was like, I have not been paying attention, so I was like, "Oh, is Tom Cruise in this?" And he was like, Can you just? I just want to listen to this. It's only 30 seconds.
But no, I was super excited when like, "Oh, hey, is that Cap Shield? What's Cap Shield doing? Is that Falcon? Is he holding Cap Shield? Is that Winter Soldier? Oh my God, this is more. Oh my God, there's fucking WandaVision. This is amazing."
WandaVision looks wild, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, I was specifically here for the memes that like the Dolly Parton challenge with WandaVision in it. It's like Scarlet Witch, totally Tinder, and just it was
Love
great.
it.
But did we get anything from Loki? Or was it just like a shot of his face going like, "I'm still Hiddleston"?
Yeah, basically. Although I'm super excited about the Owen Wilson news.
Well, we'll get there. I'm a little less excited just because Owen Wilson. But whatever.
Take all the risks. I'm here for it.
Have you seen any of Star Trek Picard?
I haven't yet.
I'm pronouncing it wrong. I know. It's not Picard. Because that would
Star
be weird.
Trek Pie?
Pie.
Pie card.
Card. I'm kind of digging it, not necessarily because it's good, but because it's Picard. You know, it's scratching all of those nostalgia things for me, where it's, this was my first Star Trek, the first Star Trek show that I actually watched a lot of, and it's that guy. And I saw him on a set once in the outfit, and it's everything. And he wouldn't let me sit in his chair, and that was weird. Did I ever tell you that story?
That sounds about normal.
Yeah, when I was an intern on Star Trek in my between my junior and my senior years of college. And so I was like reading scripts and sitting in on pitch meetings, and like I was the schmuck kid he's a college student, let him in and see some stuff. But then they gave us a tour of the Enterprise set, and I'm again like 20 years old, like losing my fucking mind, and I wanted to sit in the chair and get a picture taken because I had seen pictures of that, like this is pre-internet, so it's like I had seen pictures of that in like fanzines and shit. Like, well, I want to sit in the throne. And when I got there, the publicist who was walking us around said, well, Mr. Stewart is very protective of that chair. For him, Star Trek is like Shakespeare. Yep. And that chair, the captain's chair, is his throne. So he really doesn't like people to sit in it. I was like, but can I? Listen, like just watching me free fall into a crest. And so I just like sad fucking like Charlie Browned my way off the set. And in the corner, they had been shooting this episode, it's called Relics, I think, and it's where Scotty comes back to the Next Generation, and he goes in the holodeck and he builds the original Star Trek bridge. He's super nostalgic. He's like, I want the bridge of the Enterprise, no bloody A, no bloody B, no bloody C. And so they had built that set. So there was like 1/3 of the classic Star Trek bridge sitting there, and Captain fucking Kirk's chair is there. And I'm like, I'm gonna sit in that bitch. Watch.
I'm gonna sit in it.
I'm gonna fart in it. I'm gonna like work an ass groove in it.
Of course you would.
I'm gonna just like, like, all right, Patrick, you have your chair. I deflowered that one over there, but they didn't invite me back.
I'm gonna do like 20 squats, get like swamp ass.
I know. Then I like call my manager. I'm like, hey, can you get me a job on Star Trek Picard? It's like, no, because of what you did.
They still remember.
They remember.
Remember this man.
Yeah.
Just a picture of your ass.
Yeah, just the groove left by my ass in Captain Kirk's chair. I'm kind of digging it. It's fucking Patrick Stewart at like 80 years old, still running, kinda, still jumping, kinda, but he's awesome. The show I think has potential. Are you watching anything that you like?
Yeah, I'm watching The Outsider on HBO. I don't know if anyone else has watched it. It's spooky. It gets all of my boxes. It tingles all the right places for me.
I mean, I watched it when it was Castle Rock. I'm just saying, but whatever.
Yeah, I love it. I think Jason Bateman, he's in it, but he also directed, I think, several of the episodes.
Yeah, he directed the first two.
The first two.
Yeah, which are the ones that he's in. And I have also seen it, and I also like it, even though I'm a little ahead of it, I think, where I kind of think I know what the thing is. I'm not going to spoil it for you people because you should watch it. It's actually pretty well done. And it's Stephen King, so it's like really interesting character study and then crazy fucking supernatural thing gets dropped in the middle of it.
The only thing that was weird in it is somebody mentioned a doppelganger and they were like, that's like a person that kind of looks like you. And I was like, how does people not know?
Who are you?
I'm like,
in
this
the
is
world?
a network note. HBO is like, what is this word? People are not going to know. Doppel? People are not going to...
Like, is that a weather thing? Is that like a Doppler 4000 thing? Did you have Dopplers in the West Coast or the South Coast where you grew up?
No.
It was like the fucking arms race in New York and the East Coast because they're all about the fucking weather, right? There's storms and hurricanes and nor'easters and whatever. And it was we're in Channel 4, WNBC, and we got the Doppler 4000 weather radar. And then like CBS was like, fuck you, we got the Doppler 8000, bitch. And then suddenly became this like, it was like, the US and Russia in the Cold War. It's like, oh, we got the Doppler 12,000. We got 3 Dopplers, and they're all 8,000. So just tell me what it's going to be out. I don't care. It's a little bit like the razor wars, where it's like, oh, no, we got 3 blades on this razor. Did you? Really? Fuck you. Gillette, 5 razors. Like, why do you need 5? Because we could fit 5.
That reminds me of the phone wars, where it's like, our phone is bigger. And then it's like, actually, people don't want big phones. They want something they can actually fit in their pocket. It's like, our phone is smaller. Never mind.
Ours flips open. They don't want it to open. Ours doesn't. I am still just waiting. The phone that I want, and I don't know why the fuck we're talking about phones, but let's do this. I still want the Matrix phone. I don't think any phone has been quite as cool. That's right? Like, I mean, yes, I have the complete storehouse of all human knowledge in my pocket now, but I just want a thing where if I press a button, it goes click,
Yes.
and I talk to it. I just want it to be like cool to use.
I'm one of those weird people that don't mind if I get microchipped because at the grocery store, I just don't want to take, I have this purse and all this stuff. I just want a microchip on my wrist that I just like, boop, beep, yep, that's me.
Give me my stuff.
Yeah.
Bloop.
That's very pro-government.
Yeah, that's a little Big Brother.
I have nothing to hide. I hate, people get so mad when I say that. And it's like, they're looking at what you're watching. I'm like, I hope they enjoy it. I do. I'm not fetish shaming. I'm proud. I'm proud of my kinks.
I'm just always a little weirded out when like I search for, anything on the internet and suddenly there's an ad in my Instagram feed for that very thing. It's like, oh man, I'd love to go to vacation at like some Civil War fucking memorial battleground. And suddenly it's like, do you like to be a racist? I'm like, wait, hold on. I don't want a Trumpy bear. What code words did I use?
I think I looked up like, can a psychic know if you've killed someone?
Oh shit.
I just wanted to know.
And then like bail bondsmen are up in your ads, like, you clearly killed a person, you might need some help. Listen, I don't even know how we got here.
No.
And I don't care, really.
Beep.
One last thing, and only because I saw it and loved it, and saw it a little too late and hadn't been able to talk about it before, but are you a Doctor Who fan?
I need to. I'm huge in the anime world, and I feel like I need to move over. I mean, I literally have Goku and Vegeta tattooed on me, and there's a My Hero. I'm just distracting this. And there's a My Hero premiere in like a week or two. But anyways, I need to, I'm so into anime that I need to come back into your space of Doctor Who is the long.
I will say that I am not like the craziest Doctor Who fan. I'm a casual Doctor Who fan. The thing I like about it is it's an anthology more often than not, where it's, hey, what's happening this week? Brand new fucking adventure with brand new fucking characters, and your Doctor and her companions drop in and like do some shit. It's like Scooby-Doo, really, but with more lasers. But the second to most recent episode, they introduced a previous iteration of the Doctor who, if you're not clear, like
They're
or
different
she
every time.
Regenerates every time. It's like, oh, some bad shit happened. New body, new face. What? And it's like a Bond thing. You can just restart with a new actor again. But and there's been a very specific timeline of like who's been a doctor, how many doctors are there? Oh, I'm a 9th Doctor person. Well, I'm a 7th Doctor person. They introduced a doctor that we hadn't heard of before, who was a black woman. And it was fascinating and lovely and wonderful. And I struggle occasionally with the term that I get thrown a lot, forced diversity. People are unhappy with new things in their old things. Chocolate in the vanilla.
Just hate that it looks like how the world actually looks.
We don't want to do that. It must be as it ever was. But for Doctor Who, of all shows, which, not for nothing, has had the ability to be able to have done this before and hasn't, to finally reckon with itself. I mean, casting Jodie Whittaker as the first female Doctor was a big deal, but now even introducing the idea that, oh, hey, the Doctor could technically look like anybody and still kind of be the same person. And isn't that cool? If suddenly that person is just a person who looks a little different, but they do all the things you love and they like all the things you like. The internet has had its feelings about it, as the internet has feelings about lots of things. But I chose to screen that part of the internet out and just kind of relish in the people feeling seen for the first time.
Yeah, totally.
Who have loved this thing since their grandparents showed it to them on PBS and black and white reruns, that are now 40 years later getting to see themselves in a real way. That always just warms my heart.
Yeah.
And it was also a really good episode. Like, especially if you don't know what's going to happen. I'm sorry, I fucking spoil it. But if you don't know what's happening going in and you just let it on spool for you, it's just a really good episode of TV that happens to be like kind of progressive and lovely and wonderful.
Well, you were on the James Bond episode of my show, Nerdificent, and we talked about that too, because they were like, "There's no way," and we were just saying, like, technically that moniker can go to anyone, and it's like the guy, like, this guy's getting, older. He can't be as James Bondsy as he wants to be.
No,
and
he's got the special.
It's not like a jersey that they retire. It's like no one else can be 007. Goes up there.
Yeah, and they're playing with that, I think, in the new movie, No Time to Die, where I think, I can't remember what her name, Lashana something? Yes, Lynch, is playing 007.
Yeah.
She's not James Bond, she's
Right.
007. And that's awesome. Like, why isn't that a thing that we just see getting passed down to anybody who's really good at this job?
Also, they're going to run out of numbers. Like, just...
Yeah, that's a bad numbering system. It's really only like...
10110.
That doesn't sound cool at all until you get to like Agent 666.
Yeah.
And then it's cool again. But everybody between...
Until you get to whatever agent it spells boobies in the calculator.
Nice.
That's what I want.
That's well, it's
That's 8008.
It's 56,006 upside down.
Yes. Wow. So you actually did that a lot.
Oh, I was in high school. I had a calculator.
Yeah. No, see, I had boobs in high school, so I didn't have to do that.
No, I was obsessed in ways that couldn't exercise themselves beyond calculator tricks. Like, oh boy, one of these days, I don't have to turn anything upside down to see boobs.
Meanwhile, I was like, wow, these are fun. When did these come around?
I'd heard. Reports were wild and varied, but they all were very specific on that front. Hey, we have guests here today.
We do. We should, yes.
Who I feel like we've soiled the front rug, and now they've got to come into this house, and we got to make nice. But we will do that because both of these guests, independently and together, mean quite a bit to me. Because when I first moved to LA 7 years ago, I was alone. Like, my family was still back east. I was out here for 6 months on a TV gig, and I didn't really know anybody. I had one friend out here, but everything else about this town was alien to me. And then my friend, Shauna Benson, who I only knew from the internet, she literally emailed me, was like, what are you doing this Saturday night? I was like, fucking nothing. I don't know anybody. She's like, you got to come with me to this thing. It's like, what is it? It's called the Thrilling Adventure Hour. And I was like, oh, fuck. I don't know what that is, but it sounds cool. And I went, and it was amazing. It was, if you're not familiar with it, it was a long-running monthly show that went for something like 12 years in LA. In one location, they moved to Largo at the Coronet. And it was an old-timey radio show where a bunch of actors would come out and stand there in suits and ties in front of mics, and they would tell 3 different stories. It was like the old Mercury Theater with Orson Welles in the Mercury Theater. Today, we're going to do blah. And one of the steady streams of it was Sparks Nevada, who was the sheriff on Mars. And I always loved just literally tuning in once a month to the new adventures of this character. And the work juice players were all the actors involved, and the rotating cast would come in, would be amazing. And that show is very much the fault of at least 2 of the people that are about to come up here today. One of them is Ben Blacker, who is a TV writer and a podcaster and the co-creator of the Thrilling Adventure Hour. And the other one is Marc Evan Jackson, who's amazing for lots of different reasons, not the least of which is he spells his first name with a C, as all good Marks do. He's on
It's
Brooklyn.
a cult.
It's a cult, yeah, and we get the best jackets. So yes, without further ado, welcome to Ben Blacker and Marc Evan Jackson. Oh!
Thank you. Hi.
Hi.
Hey, gang.
Stay over there.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
We'll be
there's a
over
wall
here.
between us for a reason.
I feel like we're here to renew our licenses.
What number do you have?
Yeah, no, the wait is about 45 minutes, I think, to get the good license.
Did you make an appointment?
I should have, and I should have brought a book.
E-T-P.
Well,
I'm reading the Snellen chart. Thank you very much.
I gave the shitty, quick, and dirty version of the Thrilling Adventure Hour, at least my Thrilling Adventure origin story.
Sure.
What is it for you guys? Well,
Yeah.
come on.
This was, hi, my name is Ben Blacker.
Hey, Ben Blacker.
I am not on The Good Place or Brooklyn Nine-Nine or anything you've seen. The Thrilling Adventure Hour was, as you said, a staged show.
Did you just turn to me for help?
No,
I
I've
felt
done
you
this a
turn-
few times.
Yeah. You
Can
should
you
know
get me?
this.
Yeah.
It's yours.
It was a stage show in the style of old-time radio that we did for, 11 plus years at Largo at the Coronet. It was also a podcast and remains a podcast. People can listen to those. It was our job for 11 years. It was the thing we did every month. My writing partner, Ben Acker, and I wrote a new 80-page script every month for a decade. Mark and other incredible actors such as Paul F. Tompkins and Padgett Brewster and Busy Phillips, Josh Malina, would star in these genre comedy stories that we put together. And we were lucky enough that, cool people found it.
Well, how did y'all meet? Like, what was their first time?
I was a recast.
Still, it's been 15 years.
An actor named Holmes Osborne first played Sparks Nevada in a read-through, I think.
Yeah.
And
you killed him.
and then I murdered Holmes Osborne.
Holmes Osborne was the dad in every 90s movie. He was in That Thing You
Truth.
Do, and what's the one with the scary rabbit? Donnie Darko.
That's not the way I would have received
Scary
it.
rabbit.
Like Night of the Lepus? Okay, yeah, sure.
So Holmes did this read-through, and his Sparks was a very laconic, very Gary Cooper type.
Which is how it was written, I feel like, right?
Yeah, those
Yeah.
early scripts definitely were that. And then,
I'm not capable of that.
yeah.
So I made Sparks Nevada a dumb guy with a big ego and which is my sweet spot. And then 12 years happened, and now, now
In
we're
the
here.
blink of an eye, 12 years happened.
Where, when you guys are in the world, what is the thing that they, and for you especially, and for you definitely, what is the thing they recognize you the most from?
When I'm in the world, did you begin the question with the words "when you guys are in the world"?
Yes, I did. Don LaFontaine is
I'll
going to
tell
do
you.
this.
I'll tell you this.
In a world.
I was recently out of town with my wife and I were out with Mark and his wife and
Out of
so
town.
out
Sometimes
of town.
we leave town.
Yeah, we're not always here. But being away from Hollywood, where people are a little weirder about recognizing people, like we were out in the world, and Mark would get recognized, and you can sort of tell as someone is approaching him what they recognize him from. Do you want to describe
We haven't
that?
talked about that, but it's true. Yeah, like I can feel in a room, like if I'm having a good day and care to talk to people, I know where to go. And if I am having a terrible day and would like to be alone, it's like, oh, those people would have no idea who I am. Yeah, you can tell the fandoms of even within the fairly microscopic iterations of Parks and Recreation, The Good Place, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I know what I'm on. Thank you.
We only have 15 minutes.
Thank you. I was told Rick Baker went an hour.
Clearly, dude, we can get a stool for you if you want. Yeah. Just lean back.
Did Rick Baker get a stool?
He did because he's 112 years old.
By the way, a brief sidebar. I have been making a joke that my DJ name is DJ Rick Baker, which my wife keeps telling me to stop doing, but I tell her it's good because of my monster beats.
Wow.
Come on.
Wow.
This has been the last ever episode of any podcast. That was awful.
I've never said it publicly, and I'm not sorry.
Please,
I'm
no.
not sorry.
You're wrong not to be.
No.
That's a problem.
That is now my new favorite thing.
I thought you would like that.
I'm going to steal it and not give you credit for it.
When I am out in
Done.
the world,
Yeah. It's like, guys, I'm about to tell you the whitest joke. And then just go.
Mark, well, do you have one in particular that you get the most, or in certain areas of the country more?
I mean, it's Kong Skull Island, though, right?
I mean, Kong Skull Island. You're joking. That does happen. People care
joking,
deeply about the scientists.
That
in Kong
movie
Skull
made
Island.
$400 million. I get it.
People care very deeply about the Landsat program. Just because of where we are currently, it's probably equal parts Brooklyn Nine-Nine, The Good Place, and Thrilling Adventure Hour. But I can all the way tell when people are walking up to me which it is. Yeah.
It's kind of amazing.
It's kind of an interesting thing.
Is there like a different walk? Is there like a Muppet walk? when
There's
it's like
a look
Brooklyn
in their
Nine-Nine?
eyes where they're like, I know that's Sean. I know he's a bad guy.
I was in the drive-thru at an In-N-Out today. 100% true. 100% true.
He's like the rest of us.
I was in the drive-thru in an In-N-Out in basically my neighborhood, and I could tell when I went to give the person my card, it was like they get it. And then it was like, my whole brain went like, Kevin Costner, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And the kid 100% was like, are you Kevin Costner from Brooklyn Nine-Nine? And the answer is yes.
It's great. People love the stuff they love.
They
I love
really
it.
do.
People will come up to me and be like, Gina? Gina Rodriguez? I'll be like, yes, can I get a drink?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yeah,
Bottle
I'll tip.
service.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
Thank you.
Charge it to the Underhills.
I don't tip.
When I worked at Entertainment Weekly, we had a first staff retreat, and we were all like kind of meeting each other and going away and like being kind of grown-up kids. And the seating charts were all by like your celebrity doppelganger. And so like I get to this fucking giant table of all of these faces, and I'm like, listen, there's like 2 black employees. Clearly, one of us is gonna be Denzel, and one of us is gonna be Blair Underwood, because why would you not do that? And I'm looking, I'm like, motherfuckers, and it was Tracy Morgan. And I was like, couldn't you just glow me up a little bit? Like fucking Billy D. Williams is sitting right there.
Mark.
What year, though?
This was like...
Pre-limo crash?
Yeah, this was like naked with a lightsaber. You know, and I'm like...
In fairness, you could be naked with a lightsaber.
I mean, I've been naked with a lightsaber.
Right. If anyone in this room were going to be naked with a lightsaber.
Who was the other guy?
Will
Smith.
Yeah, literally. The other dude was like, oh, you got... hey, there's Sidney Poitier, and then there's fucking Tracy Morgan, and... Yeah, sure. I see how you feel.
Can I tell you a Hollywood bullshit story?
Please do.
So I play the red herring in the movie 22 Jump Street. I play the person that you think is the bad guy that turns out not to be the bad guy. It's Gillian Bell. Spoiler. Sorry, it's Gillian Bell.
Still good. Still worth seeing.
I mean,
still worth seeing.
And Phil Lord and Chris Miller directed that movie, and they are wonderful comedy people and improv people. And so we got on set. I was playing a psychology professor on this movie, and I said the word in the script was the word impression at one point, and they were like, "Okay, cool." In a cut between scenes, they were like, "Cool." So next time. Next time you say the word impression, go, speaking of impressions, and then do an impression. Okay, roll camera. I was like, that is all the way unfair. That is all the way unfair. And I think it's by virtue of the Thrilling Adventure Hour that John DiMaggio, Bender from Futurama.
Also, every voice and everything
Right.
all the time.
I think maybe he's done other things, I'm not sure. And then, he had been doing a Tracy Morgan impression poorly for years. So that was top of mind somehow. And so I was a psychology professor at this fictitious Southern university, and they did this to me. They pimped me to go and do an impression, and I was like, well, this will be racist and great. And so I was like, speaking of impressions, and I said, y'all like psychology? And then just to define it, said Tracy Morgan. No harm, no foul at the time. I'm in the shower the morning of the premiere, waiting to go to the premiere for that movie, and I was like, what's going on in the world right now? And I was like, 36 hours ago, Tracy Morgan was in a fatal limousine crash. Wait, that's familiar somehow. Wait, I didn't just improvise a line about him in a movie that's about to debut, did I? Oh, fuck, I did. And I texted Phil and Chris, and I was like, that was one of a billion things we did. That certainly didn't make the movie. And they were like, it all the way did. It all the way did. It's in the movie. We're taking it out of the premiere tonight because it's too soon. But it will be in the movie forever. Wow. And it was horrifying, and just the way the universe works.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But also any impression that Jackson does of someone.
y'all like psychology?
They immediately get into a car accident.
Or is just every impression that impression? Like Charlton Heston, y'all like psychology?
Y'all like
Use it for good.
Okay, so Ben, you emailed me and you're
Has
like,
it been
"Listen,
an hour?
dude, it's
What
Have
do
we
you-
Rick Bickard?
What are you watching these days?
sunrise, sunset. You've got an Audible series.
It's an Audible
that has
original.
just launched. Tell me about said Audible original. Cut and Run.
This is a show called Cut and Run. It's a Audible original. You can get it on Audible. You can also just buy it. It's about best friends who are kidney thieves and the havoc that wreaks on their love lives, their respective love lives.
Tale as old as time. I mean, if you've seen one, you have seen.
Star-crossed kidney.
This is a thing that Acker and I wrote in 2007, and it's just sort of been kicking
Wow.
around since then, and then Audible picked it up a few years ago. The cast is bonkers.
Tell me about
It's
Ted
kind of
Kid.
stupid.
It's
Yeah, this cast.
crazy.
I was with a lot of them last night. It's kind of dumb.
Yeah, we had like a little premiere and improv show last night, and our leads are Darcy Carden from The Good Place, who is a gift. She is incredible. Like to live with something.
She's fine. I mean,
Take a break. To live with something for over a decade and be, like the weight of casting that thing and having the right people in it, we got so lucky with Darcy especially, but also like the whole cast. Sam Richardson plays her best friend and partner. Rachel Bloom plays his love interest. Thomas Lennon plays her love interest.
they're only in it because they're all my friends.
Did you get your like 5%?
I did.
We-
Not my. No,
you
I had
helped
to
us-
perform in an improv show
Yeah.
last night. Was somehow double taxed. No.
He helped us cast Darcy and
Yes.
Eugene Cordero, who
Yes.
plays a wormy dude who's so funny. The narrator of this show is Meg Ryan.
What?
Yeah. From everything you've ever loved.
Okay, now does she actually show up in like a robe and slippers all the time, or does it just sound that way?
She, legitimately, she recorded in her home in Martha's Vineyard. So she was very comfortable. But so my writing partner's name is Ben Acker. My name is Ben Blacker. We know.
They're like names. It's the same name, but
We've
different.
heard it. And we've heard it for 15 years. We've been working together. But then Meg Ryan says, you're listening to an Audible original. This is Cut and Run by Ben Acker and Ben Blacker, and gives this laugh. And it's the best thing that's ever happened.
Is that now your ringtone?
It really should be. So anyway, it's out there. Go to audible.com/cut
Ed
and run.
Begley Jr.
Ed Begley Jr. The cast is bonkers.
I learned that because I retweeted your announcement tweet, and then I get the notification that Ed Begley Jr. liked your tweet. I was like, what the fuck is happening here? These are worlds that are never supposed to collide.
Ed Begley Jr. plays.
I know.
He plays the nicest crime lord in the Midwest. That was the role that we were looking for, and we're like, it has to be Ed Begley Jr.
I was gonna say, meanwhile, Meg Ryan followed me on Insta. So.
What?
No, I'm just kidding. I don't even know if she's on there. She shouldn't.
I met Ed,
You will
Ed
literally
Begley
believe
Jr. last
anything.
night, and he said nice things about me, and so I might be done.
Yeah.
This might be it.
Yeah, game
The
over.
sweetest guy. He was recording in the booth with Rachel and Sam, and he, like he's been doing this for 40 years, and he's still incredible. But he left and was like, I have to go now. I'm sorry, I have to go to a shoot. You all are wonderful. I love what you are doing. It's perfect. I'm sorry for slowing us down. I have to
Oh
get
my
out of here.
God.
Like, so sweet.
And does he just give out electric cars? It's like,
We were-
you'll get a car.
We were afraid to print a script for him. Because we were like,
Wow.
certainly he doesn't want a printed script. We have it digitally for Ed Begley Jr., the greenest man on earth.
Yeah. You can write on the screen of this iPad. We don't care.
He printed his script.
Really?
He did.
Begley.
In animal blood, which was weird because, like, you wouldn't think.
And Mark, the Good Place just wrapped up. Like, how
Wait,
does
what?
Good Place?
Oh.
Did I not tell you?
Um,
I mean, did you still got a call time for tomorrow?
No, but my schedule is open. What?
Good Place.
Mark, in the last episode of The Good Place,
Yeah.
I'm sorry to break it to you, you do something I had never seen you do. I didn't get to tell you this when I saw you last night. There was a bit where I think you are like pretending to not like something. Was that in the last episode or maybe the penultimate episode?
I don't know.
You shot it months ago.
Sure.
But he does this. He has this moment where you don't exactly look at the camera, but you kind of side eye to see if anyone sees that you
Oh, yeah,
are
that's-
not
yeah.
as amused. I had not seen it before. It was
I'm
a
versatile.
lovely piece of acting.
I am live and and malleable and versatile. False. Yes, it's a bit of a. I play the devil, and yeah, there's a bit of humanity that pokes through. Then I get uncomfortable with it.
You got
and
uncomfortable.
I
Yeah, that's it.
immediately-
That was it.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I
faking it.
ask a few questions?
By all means, sir.
Thank
No
you.
problem with this.
Is The Good Place
It's over.
was it
yes.
as terrible to shoot as it seems like it was?
Yeah, total nightmare. Just like egos and egos and egos. Kidding aside, The Good Place was The Good Place. The Good Place, just about any Mike Schur joint is like the very best workplace you could ever hope for, and everyone that's there cares about what you're doing, and they're good at it. They're at the top of their game. There's no, like, they literally could come in moments before you roll on this podcast or whatever is happening right now. Still not 100% sure what's going on.
We're just at a bar, man.
What's that?
Just at a bar.
Right, but the future, right? Anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Well, no,
normally I'd have
it's
a
a
stool.
long time ago.
Far away? All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Anyway, you 100% could, and I mean this factually, they could go, guys, we're about to go, this is all great, what you've done is great. We were wrong. The whole thing needs to be over here 180 degrees. And nobody goes, the fuck, what? Like, nobody. They go, oh, okay. Hey, guys, come on in. We're going to move this. We're going to clock it around. Like, everybody is, like, so skilled and so accomplished and wonderful. And that's the good news of it. The bad news of it is that as soon as you realize that that's possible in life,
Oh my gosh.
everything else you experience sucks. like you realize, like, oh, we have to be aiming for this. Mike Schur has a no jerks rule. So on set, cast, crew, anywhere, top to bottom, above the line, below the line, there's nobody that's like obstreperous or problematic or ego-driven or whatever. Like, everybody just wants it to be good. They're all working in that direction. 99% of the time, like, unacknowledgedly, like, they're like, it's just people that are doing their jobs, and maybe 1/8 of something will make the frame, and somebody will go, was that joke? Was that a joke? And people will go, yeah. And it, like, so much of it doesn't make the screen, and but everybody in the world wants it to be great, and maybe let's do that from now on.
Yeah. It seems like a good way to make
I'm sorry,
stuff,
are you
right?
running? Or
That is when I would like to announce Mark Evan Jackson 2020. Is that when we are? Is that right now?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you won the Iowa caucus
In this
because
room,
everybody.
I'm president. In this room, I am president.
Did you steal anything from the set?
Steal's a weird word.
just their hearts,
Yeah.
right?
Liberate anything? Did you set something free from the set?
I own.
What about every set you've ever been?
I'm keenly aware of the value of items. So steal is a strange way to frame anything. How dare you? But yes, I do own a lot of screen-used memorabilia. The most recent of which, the list is too long. I will tell you two things. One, I host the official podcast for the NBC's The Good Place, and while recording the penultimate episode, there did happen to be a bit of graphic art that was used on screen. They come to me in The Good Place and the OG Good Place on the Universal backlot, and I'm smashing crystal figurines at one point, and it's the greatest. Everyone should
In character. This was for the show. This was not just.
Sure.
If you say so.
When you shoot anything, you do it about 40 times, so it's the very best. And these were not legitimately crystal, but they were heavy-ass lucite, and I smashed about 40 nice things. And you should all do it because it is so cathartic and wonderful. It's the greatest. But I was smashing like figurines from a cart called Joni Loves Tchotchkes.
Wow.
So maybe
Megan and Ram Jam.
hypothetically,
Monster Beats.
There might be a sign in my office right now at the home where I live that says Joni Loves Tchotchkes.
So good. So
But
good.
also they were like and this is a deep cut unless you watched NBC's The Good Place, but they were like, oh, you can take that if you want. And it's a 7-foot-tall kiosk in which Matt from accounting hides to evaluate the afterlife experiment for, I don't know, 12 episodes or some shit.
It looks like a porta potty.
It was once referred to in a script as Darth Vader's Wang. So, yeah.
This is the right crowd.
Yeah, this is, yeah. Yes, they were, I have not arranged shipment yet, but I will be taking that.
I like that security is eyeing your car as you drive off the lot. It's like, he's riding low. He's riding low. What's in the trunk?
Yeah. Have we beat Rick Baker?
I think no.
You've made him proud.
Sorry, I'm just saying.
Thank you.
You made him proud.
Thank you.
I was gonna say he's got 8 Oscars, so not quite yet. What is next for both of you guys? More Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Okay.
Sure. Okay. I put in a call, so yeah, that's gonna happen.
I'm not going to spoil it, but yeah. You might see some Kevin Costner on Brooklyn Nine-Nine in season 7, yeah.
Anything else you can talk about, or is it all secret, deep NDA?
I mean, there is stuff that's secret, but this has not been announced.
Scoop.
This is a whatever this is exclusive.
You heard it here first.
This is like the first time I took him to Comic-Con. No joke. He was walking around like,
Let's pretend this
I
is
don't know
important.
what this is. I don't know what we're doing. And they just wear these costumes.
Netflix is doing a series based on the books called The Babysitter's Club.
Ooh.
And it is.
And you are one of the
worth it.
babysitters? One of the babysitters?
I play
Claudia?
I play all the young girls.
Yeah.
I play all the 12-year-old multicultural young women. It's a bold.
He has range.
It's a bold new take. Let's presume I play somebody's father, and it's going to drop in the next few months, and it's exciting. It's
Very cool.
It's a wonderful take on important material, and it's culturally great. It's inclusive and wonderful, and I'm so proud of it.
That's awesome. What about you, Mr. Blacker?
A whole bunch of things I can't talk about, as you know. But Acker and I have spent 10 years trying to get Cut and Run made as a series, and it was originally written as a TV show. So now that it's an audio series, maybe someone will want to make it as a TV show.
There
What?
you go.
So that's
But Ben,
something
it's
we're
not
working
available
on.
to be one until 2 weeks from now.
What luck!
Huzzah.
You can have it right now.
That's awesome. Well, listen, gentlemen, I cannot thank you enough for spending your hard-earned Tuesday night here in a nerd bar in Hollywood.
Whatever this is.
Wherever we
this
are.
is. Thank you.
What is
I
this?
love this show.
Oh, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Well, holy crap, that was super fucking fun.
I learned a lot of things
I learned like every other thing.
that you can steal from NBC and say
I
it on
know.
air.
Apparently, that's all it takes. Oh, okay. Awesome. We got postcards.
Thank you.
We're going to make it rain.
I wanted to ask, the kidney stealing, was this inspired by a trip?
I woke up and my kidney was gone.
You never know. My show's inspired by my life, so you never know.
You never can tell. I think we should talk about some news.
Let's do it.
Let's fucking do it. This is the part of the show where, as Kevin likes to say, I looked at the internet and pressed copy and paste and stole it all, and now I'll just read it to you because I'm providing a service.
Yes, that the internet doesn't provide.
Yeah, no, I'm now reading it. That's the thing you don't have to do. You don't have to read.
You're like your own Audible.
I really am. For shit that people probably already know. Today, okay, maybe you don't know this because it was just announced today, Disney, in a big stockholder call where they tout their gains and their revenue and whatever, they dropped that the Mandalorian Season 2 is coming in October.
Yeah.
Uh,
But my Baby Yoda's coming in March. I'm so excited.
Hey. Were you a Mando fan?
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, my
yeah?
God. That man, oof.
Wait, which
How
man?
are we? the man, the Mando.
The Mando, the one who was
Y'all,
never Pedro
I mean,
Pascal.
oof, if I wasn't writing on the show, I'd be writing some spicy fan fiction about that man. He is so, how R-rated is this show? He's fine, girl. And I'm like, I know he can't take his helmet off, but that doesn't mean, I saw that widow. Sorry, I could talk about this forever. I saw that widow, and I was like, she is willing to risk it all. And I was like, everybody wants to sit on this man's helmet. My God. Okay, he's so fine. I can't. Gina, oh my God. My by heart, let me tell you. I am overwhelmed. Yes, I'm sorry, The Mandalorian.
No, listen. That's why we're here.
Oof.
Because again, me just reading the news doesn't matter.
You saw my tweets.
Let's do this now.
Oof. Oh my God. Yes.
Okay, so now is it the Mandalorian himself, or is it Pedro Pascal in the suit?
I think it's all of it.
Okay.
The swag. Who has swagger in a suit like that? I mean, come on. But I will say, sorry, go ahead.
No. I've had my piece. I've said my say on the Mandalorian. I'm way more curious about your say.
He's just fine. And like, oh man, he just is commanding. It's very like BDSM. I'm just gonna say it. It's very
all these gloves.
The kink community felt good.
I wouldn't have seen that coming down the pike, but I get it. I mean, I was way more about Cara Dune than I was.
She's her too. Yeah. She can crush me.
Like a walnut.
Yeah. I was about to say, I just want them to adopt me, but that doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound.
No.
I mean, that is, that's a different.
That's a whole different.
That's a whole different category.
I mean, you got the search terms for that.
Yeah.
Are a little bit different.
Look, you know what I was saying, like how they say the NSA, whatever, is watching me, and I'm like, I'm happy that I gave some intern a boner. Like, let's get real here.
Hey, so now we get more of it.
Yes, I'm excited.
Which they've already been shooting. They've already been filming season 2. So it's like for them to drop it in October is not out of the realm of possibility. We're also getting, and I think we knew that we were getting Falcon and the Winter Soldier in August, and WandaVision in December.
A very Disney Christmas.
A very masturbatory Disney Christmas. I was like, oh my, well, Winter Soldier.
Were you glad? Because everyone was so mad.
Bucky.
I mean, that's other fan fiction. That fan fiction is out there. Yes.
I mean, it's not even fan fiction. It's just like text.
Well, were you mad? A lot of people were mad that the Baby Yoda merch wasn't out in time for Christmas, but I was okay with the fact that Jon Favreau didn't want it to be spoiled, and he was willing to make Disney take the cut.
I mean, that's some baller shit right there.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, Disney, you know what I want you to do? Not make $100 million.
Yeah.
Is that cool? Yeah, I guess. But it's also like every now and again, I'm both surprised at and I guess awakened to the fact that you can keep things secret if you want to. Like when fucking Netflix decides, oh yeah, no, we're dropping a giant J.J. Abrams movie today.
Yeah.
Or Beyonce is like, hey, have an album and a movie and a whatever, and we don't know those things are happening, that there's no way for them to have like, oh no, we're keeping this shit secret.
Right.
But the minute we pull the plug, welcome to the stores, everybody.
Yeah.
Whoosh. That they can't do that. It's surprising to me.
Well, no, but people were like, yeah, but then all the toy places would have access to it, and like Mark in accounting would show it to his girlfriend, and then Baby Yoda would be all over the place.
I mean, that's a Mark with a K. Mark with a K. You're assholes. All of you.
Every important person in my life is named Mark. I love it.
Yeah, but you gotta watch the Ks. The Ks, too many of them. Nobody wants too many Ks.
No, that is accurate.
Yeah.
Historically.
3s and 9s, bad for Ks.
Historically
bad. And Disney's still not sure if The Mandalorian will go more than 2 seasons. I think that's all they're wrestling with at the time. Mm-hmm. But they're talking about spinning it off into more seasons, spinning characters out of The Mandalorian into their own shows.
Yeah.
Who would you want to see in their own show?
I mean, Cara, I feel like.
Yeah.
What did you
IG-11.
I want Baby Yoda. No, I want Teen Yoda.
Teeny.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's just Baby Groot, right? Like they're just gonna do that shit.
Ever
Teen
what? Isn't that what I'm stupid?
My
Why
room,
isn't
I
Ben
woke
here
and-
for that dumb joke?
You killed it though. I kind of want. I want whatever the fuck his name is. Carl Weathers' character, who I don't even know what his
Yeah.
name is. He's just Mando. How are you, Mando? Would you like a drink, Mando? Come here, Mando. I know your secret creed, and actually, that's less a name and more like your religion, and so
Right.
that's like saying Jew. Welcome to the bar, Jew. Like, whoa, this got weird fast.
But also, we know his name, and people still call him Mando.
Yeah.
So, like, people are like, his name's not Baby Yoda. I'm like, I'm going to call him that forever. That's his
Yeah.
name. I'm sorry.
The
I don't care if
child-
it's Drew. Like, I'm going to call him.
Yeah,
It's Jeff with a G.
Jeff the Yoda. The best. Hey,
It has to be a Y. There's Yaddle. I just need it to be like Yeety.
Yorick.
That too.
Whoa. All right. I'm 100% on board for A, your Cara Dune show, B, your Teen Yoda show. where
Needs
he's,
to
like,
happen.
Got like posters of like sexy girl Yodas up on his wall in his
Love
bedroom.
it.
It's like, what are you doing in there? Nothing, I am. Yeah. Touching it, I won't.
She's like going to the mall, going to Topic Hot or whatever. He's all angsty.
Yeah, why does your room smell this way? Nothing. Smoking not the green I am.
I need that tea. Someone's gonna do it.
They will. You should do it.
I'll do it.
Do it. Don't even wait for permission.
Hello, Walt.
I know you're dead. And you're like a little bit racist. But hey, here's what I want to do. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make it all about race, except that I did. Speaking of race, not at all. Lakeith Stansfield. One of my
transition.
You know what I do? I'm the master of the segue.
Speaking of black people, Lakeith.
It's what I like to call the incredibly obvious clunky segue.
No, I love it.
No, it's great. Lakeith Stansfield, one of our finest young actors, who you may have seen in, Uncut Gems
Yeah.
and Knives Out and Get Out. Woo, woo, woo. Wants to play the Joker.
Yeah.
Like, what? Right? Oh, shit.
Are you excited?
I mean, it'll never happen. But, like, yeah.
These are my. I definitely do. I think we've seen a lot of the Joker. Where I would love if his take on someone else. I also wouldn't mind gender bending and having him be Catman, like
Wow.
Batman and Catman. It's 2020. Like I'm ready for that romance.
Yeah. And the title is, like, What the Catman Do.
Yeah. Oof.
Just for a pun.
Him in like tight leather. I mean.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah.
You let me. You said I could say whatever I want, and now I'm just like, well.
Like, hello? Ooh.
I love that when Ben and Mark were here, I was like, oh, I love your show. It's so great. Anyways, the kink community.
Yes. By the way, we're mussing that helmet, bitch. I'm kind of, listen, I'm down for whatever Lakeith wants to do. Like, I think he's a fascinating actor. And his range is remarkable. Like, he can go from super sedate and super contained to kind of fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Which is why I think the Joker didn't seem like it was totally out of left field.
Totally.
I think he can kind of do whatever he sets his mind on. And apparently he like dressed up as the Joker for
He did,
Halloween.
yeah.
And then like made a bunch of home movies of him as the Joker.
Oh, I want to see those. For like my own personal reason.
Yeah. Not just academic curiosity, just no. Give me-
Well, he was really funny because he was like, I put the makeup on, and then I was like, why don't I just not take this off?
like, man, I don't have Sunday nights like that anymore. Because I'm an old man. You're like, I'm gonna dress up and just stay this way.
I just want like a, I know we got Joker, but I want like a Lobo movie or something. You know, like I just need
Ooh.
other
More
people
things.
in the Rogues Gallery.
You mean we shouldn't just keep making Joker things?
I think it would be funny if we came out with, like, if we're going to do it, commit to it and come out with a new one every single year. Like, it's like, the 4th of July, Christmas, Joker Day. Like, we just need one everyone gets their chance at it. When you're new to Hollywood, like, you're an up-and-coming director, you get your Joker film.
We made it for like $8 million, and it's just sitting in a room. He's like really angry about clowns, other clowns, biting his style. He's just trying to poison their reservoir. You motherfuckers keep getting in my way. Ice Cube is the Joker.
Wow. Love it.
Okay. Goodbye, Joker. Speaking of Jokers,
Yes.
Owen Wilson is joining the cast of Loki. Wow.
Wow. I'm sure he loves that.
Well, it's his own fucking fault. Because
Yeah.
he did that for like a decade. Wow.
And made millions of dollars.
I know. Hey, we make our own prisons, it turns out.
There's actually a video of Tom Hiddleston doing an impression of, have you seen that?
No.
Of Owen Wilson as Loki.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Also scary that he's a witch and like predicts things, but
I mean, that's a dude that bathes in the blood of rabbits.
totally.
I mean, you know,
Absolutely, I see it.
He's scrying all kinds of shit in his basement with.
He's murdered innocent kids.
Wow! Wow! I can't.
I'm sorry, my drink is strong. My drink.
It's just Red Bull. This is
Exactly.
This is just you.
This is just
like,
me on
Both
caffeine.
tired and super hyped
Yeah.
up. So yes.
Ready to write my screenplay.
You heard it here first, boys and girls. Tom Hiddleston killed children, apparently.
Oh my God.
Basing their blood in the basement.
You're going to get a cease and this video just won't exist.
Nope.
This
Like-
night won't happen.
Like suddenly the lights go out and like Kevin Feige standing outside to shut it down. Oh, whoa. I don't even do a good Owen Wilson. I'm just gonna
No,
keep
me
doing that.
neither. I was
Whoa.
thinking of the impressions when the guys were talking about impressions. Do you have one that you do good? I don't need to hear it
No,
if it's not
long
good.
time listeners to this podcast know I can't do an impression at
Oh,
all.
man.
But I think I can.
Okay.
And that's even worse.
I have one of those too.
Okay, what's yours?
Mine is, oh shoot, I do it all the time on my podcast too. Actually, Ben was on there when I did it. It's Jimmy Stewart in It's a Wonderful Life.
Yes, please.
No, it's not. It's just, Clarence, I want to live, Clarence.
That was pretty good, though.
Right?
Oh, shit. That's
Zuzu's pedals. Zuzu. That's it. And I do this to show that he's like a feebly cold old man. Clarence.
Where's your pedals?
That's right. Yeah, that's it.
You know, I'm not even going to try my bullshit impersonations of like Idris Elba because A, the picture will not match the voice, and B, it's just me like kind of growling my voice, pretending to have like a cockney
Okay.
thing. Canceling the apocalypse. That's all I got.
Got
you
it.
know?
Love it. Truly.
Yeah, no, and I feel like if you close your eyes and turn on the TV with Idris Elba on it, I get there. But independent of that, it's just me doing it.
Did you see Cats?
Did I fucking see Cats by myself in a theater in Simi Valley, surrounded by empty seats, and this old couple there and those two children at like 2 o'clock on a weekday? I saw Cats.
What I loved was that they were, what is it, not anatomically correct? Like they were not,
They have boobs though.
but they didn't have the downstairs.
No, they're like the Barbie downstairs.
They had the Barbie downstairs, except Idris. They tried to hide it, and I was like, Lord.
No.
You could see the outline of the compression pants that they tried to put on this man.
No. His anaconda don't want none unless you got buns, hun.
Like, God bless. You know, like,
It did. He did. All of it. Like, that motherfucker's patently unfair.
woo.
In almost every way. I had once pitched when I was at the Hollywood Reporter. I'm going to keep telling stories about when I was a journalist, when I had purpose. But I had pitched a cover story on Idris Elba. And my boss was like, no, that's a really great idea. He's on the cusp. We should do it. Do you want to interview him? And I said, no. Because my fragile self-image cannot withstand the hit of being in the same room with that man and then having to, like, go about the rest of my life. Because we're the same age. And, like, this and that are somehow in the same genetic world? No. I'll kill myself at the end of that interview. Thanks, Idris. This has been nice.
Is that you going off a bridge?
Well, that was me slitting the wrist and then going.
God. Okay, here's the thing. You should have been in the same room because you could take his essence.
Yeah, just let it go, man. Just sleep.
He went.
Sleep. There can be only one.
I feel like he probably gives that off. Like anyone who has been within a 10-foot radius of him is just prettier. It's by law.
I mean, I would have had to fuck him, and probably would have, because, damn.
Catman, Batman. I mean,
I'm just saying, man. If you
2020, let's do it.
Fucking cat mount up on
He's
that
already
shit.
been a cat, so he's like.
He's all about it, just licking shit, wearing that dumb hat because cats need hats. Sure, the sun's got to sit other.
But he has
cat
the
eyes.
little cuts, like he cut the hat himself so his ears would stick out of it.
Yeah, and he's wearing like a coat because his coat isn't enough coat for the.
Sometimes they're naked, sometimes they're not.
Sometimes they're wearing the fur of other cats around them.
Yeah. No, that's a power move.
Yeah. Like, I killed that cat and we're wearing his clothes, his skin everywhere. So you know what? Zwank. Here's the other cat under the cat. What?
I'm just going to do that to my exes. Like, yeah, what now?
Huh?
This was Kevin.
He's not as warm as you'd think he'd be.
Wow.
Yeah. So Owen Wilson's going to be in Loki. Next. This one, I think, is going to make you happy, if it
Yes.
hasn't already. Netflix is making a One Piece live-action TV show.
Yeah.
I know. Somebody.
There was a groan that was unnecessary.
Audible. Brought to you by Audible. That groan was. I know nothing about One Piece. Mm-hmm. Tell me about it.
Pirates.
Okay. Cool. They're making.
Well, here's
And
the thing.
scene.
Here's the thing. If you're gonna do live action, because I think it's from the same people doing Cowboy Bebop.
Yes.
Those are live actionable animes. Like they tried to make my anime, Dragon Ball Evolution. It
Didn't-
was rough. Also, Goku was white.
What happened there?
Hollywood. But
No further questions, counselor.
But like, here's the thing, and I do think that a great director, will end up making DBZ live action because it's under, I think, the Disney everything now, and there's no way that you wouldn't capitalize on something that has its own Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade balloon. So, but these are more doable, especially for Netflix. Like they're more grounded,
Okay.
and it's like do these first, see how those feel, and then do the space guys with the tails that are throwing fireballs. Then try that. You know,
I'm going to take your word for it.
I think it's
because,
going to be fine.
I believe.
Although some of the
What?
tits are just like not like they're I don't know, right? They're gonna be hunched over. I don't even know how they're gonna do it. It's like comical tits. They're just like painfully big.
Yes. I'm sorry. What was that?
It's
Thanks, Ben.
pornhub.com.
Comical tits.
Comical, yeah. That's how some men draw tits that are so. I see it on DeviantArt and Tumblr.
Tumblr.
The tits are so big they look painful, like they look straining. So, anyways,
I mean,
that's just.
gravity
It's like 90s
physics.
comic book covers. The
Oh, yeah.
tits looked.
Have you ever seen, there was some, I think it was a Tumblr, but some artist drew male superheroes the same way they draw female superheroes. And so like Wolverine was like his ass was out to here, but then somehow his spina bifida just cracked his spine. So then now he's up straight and his boobs are like out to here. It's like a Rob Liefeld drawing, basically.
Yeah.
And I got one. Sorry, Rob Liefeld. You can't draw feet. But yeah, and it was just ridiculous. The fact that this is what boys in the 90s were spanking themselves to, with these things that are not reflected in reality in any way.
No.
Comical tits, man.
Comical, painful tits.
It feels like the name of a punk band.
Painful tits.
Comical, painful tits. But yes, I am excited for it only because it's Tamar Studios, which again is doing
Cowboy
Bebop. They've got some like veteran writers, Stephen Maida, who did Lost in the X-Files, and Matt Owens, who was on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Luke Cage. Yeah, man. I'm excited for anything that feels a little to the left of center, and comes from a place of love and
Totally.
joy,
Yeah.
and occasionally painful appendages.
There was a really great live action. Rurouni Kenshin was, if you haven't seen it, that was very well done. So
Is there one of those that's your favorite?
that one.
That one?
I mean, like of live action that's been done well. We don't have too many.
No. Most of them are done poorly. Mm-hmm. Yeah. There was a Ghost in the Shell that came out, which was awful. There was that Last Airbender movie, which was...
Yes, it was not a great track record, but
No.
I don't.
Wow, it feels like there's a fight in this booth over Death Note, so we're going to move on past that. And speaking of which, I have no segue to get to Pee Wee Herman, but let's talk about fucking Pee Wee Herman. Paul Reubens wants to make his dark Pee Wee movie. Yeah, no, for reals. He describes it as his Valley of the Dolls Pee Wee movie, where
He describes it as House of 1,000 Corpses Pee Wee movie.
yeah, you know, Pee Wee emerges from prison to become an unlikely yodeling star, then moves to Hollywood and becomes a movie star, then develops a severe pill and alcohol addiction that turns him into a monster. It's about...
Wait, how did he get to prison, though? We just
Well-
glossed over that.
He was killing dudes for Hiddleston. That was his thing.
Okay.
Because, you know, nobody looks Pee Wee funny when he knocks at your door. Mm-hmm. You'll let him play with your kids, right? It's about fame, Ruben says. I don't know, whatever. But he wrote it in like the 90s, and he couldn't get financing for it. The older that he's gotten, the more afraid that he was to do Pee Wee again, because he was making, Judd Apatow had made like a circusy Pee Wee thing on Netflix. And even then, he was unhappy with the way he looked on screen. He's like, I look like an old man, even with all this makeup. I'm just not feeling it. But then he sees The Irishman. He's like, oh, we can do this shit now.
Yes.
I can do Pee Wee for another 20 years at this point. And so apparently he's approached the Safdie Bros, who did Uncut Gems.
Yeah.
And they haven't said no. They haven't said yes, but they haven't said no. And he's like, yeah, if you give me $15 million, I will make the darkest fucking Pee Wee movie you can ever imagine.
Oof.
The question I have to ask is, does anybody want the darkest?
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, no.
If they put one scene,
What one scene?
Lawrence Fishburne comes in, Pee Wee's ODing, and he starts yelling, "Where's the black medical bag? It's in the fridge, this and that," and he's got to hit him with the syringe.
I've taken to describing, introducing most people the way Lawrence Fishburne introduces John Wick.
Yeah.
John motherfucking Wick. And I find that there's places where you can do that and places you can't.
Yeah.
Church,
No.
not a good place.
No.
For that kind of like, oh, have you met my wife? Mark's motherfucking wife. It's a little weird.
Yeah.
It's very Mando.
Like
I
a
find.
kid's graduation, probably.
This is Billy fucking Jr.
No, I think take all the risks. Take all the risks. I want to see all the things.
And if you
Why-
can minimize those risks, like limit your exposure. $10 million, $50 million, I will 100% watch Pee Wee freebasing in a basement in
Oh my
Compton.
God.
Because that's what that movie is. And I'm down for
You
that
know,
shit.
you know where Breaking Bad ends? That's where Pee Wee takes off. That's where he starts.
I'm the one who knocks.
That's terrifying.
That's my impression. I found it.
We were the playhouse all along. I don't know what the fuck that means. No, I think that networks should take risks. I mean, come on. Like, there's so many different streaming platforms now. There's no reason not to do this. Personally, I think if he really wanted to make this, he could just Kickstarter. I mean, he's Paul Reubens.
He's
Like,
fucking like Pee Wee. You
yeah,
can
people
kickstart
would
the
do
shit
it.
out of Pee
Yeah,
Wee.
people would want to see it. So,
I like your perspective on it.
Indiegogo. I don't know.
Yeah. There's a dozen ways for that guy to make money.
Venmo, Cash App, like
Cameo.
OnlyFans, like, and then it gets really dark.
I'm still going to hell. Do we want to talk about? Yeah, fuck it. Universal's remaking The Thing for reasons that make no sense to me because it was perfect. They made sequels to The Thing, which are fine. Yeah, no, again, why? I don't know. Universal's not going to hire me to do anything anytime soon.
I mean, I'm staying out of this conversation.
As well you should.
No, isn't it because they found a longer text?
They did. Apparently the novel, the short story that the original movie was made, Howard Hawks' movie in the 30s, and then John Carpenter's movie in the 80s were both based on an original short story called like Who Goes There?
Yeah.
And apparently that had been adapted by the author into a novel that was lost to time and space. That has since been recovered. And so now they want to readapt it using the additional text. Which, I mean, okay, sure. But I personally think that when you're remaking a thing, remake it in hopes that you can make it better.
Yeah.
And I don't know the size of the window there is to make a better version of that movie than John Carpenter's.
They said that they're going to take the best elements from each of them.
It's like the buffet remake of like, I want some of that, and ooh, some of the prime rib.
It's like an AMV on YouTube. Do you remember those? I don't know if people still do them. I just remember all the anime ones, and they'd be to like Linkin Park, and they would be, or it'd be like Papa Roach, like cut my life into pieces, and it's just Vegeta powering up.
It's not quite as good as the Kirk Spock / fiction
Yes.
set
Yeah.
closer.
Mm-hmm.
When-
Ooh.
yeah.
That awakened things.
I mean, just these longing glances of fucking Spock looking at Kirk, and then I want to fuck you like an animal. Like, yeah. Ooh.
It's canon.
Far that shit.
Canon. That's how it works.
Boys and girls, I think we're done with the news, which means that we move on to the Q&A part of our show, in which you all ask questions, and we give out prizes and potentially answers.
Yay.
Let me see, what will we have to give away today?
Our dignity.
Now, they paid for that already. This is now a bonus. We have tickets from our good friends at 40X. Have you ever been to a 40X movie?
No. Oh, no, I have.
Yeah? Did you feel different afterwards?
Yes.
It's a different making thing.
Yeah.
Because like you kind of sit down and you're like, oh, I expected not that at all. My kidney stones are gone. I feel like I'm now a different religion. But they're super cool. So we have some sets of those. We also have, in my magic bag of plenty,
Your Mary Poppins bag.
my Mary Poppins bag, I have some T-shirts from the good folks at,
Oh, I
at
love
Loot
it.
Crate. Let's see. There's a He-Man T-shirt, a cute Cap and Bucky T-shirt, Hydra.
Dope.
Hydra World Tour T-shirt, and a Xavier's School of the blah 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 T-shirt, and these were supposed to be Christmas presents, but it took forever.
What a good dad.
What a good dad. They took forever to arrive from China because they're pretty bootleg, but
Yes.
some bootleg Baby Yoda shit.
Dead. Worth it.
Worth it. I know, like a cute Baby Yoda.
So cute.
I mean, it's probably made of asbestos. But if you want it, I don't want it in my house. So I have 2 of those.
Oh my God.
So we'll figure out some way to divvy all this shit up. I figure I got 4 T-shirts, 2 Yodas, and a bunch of tickets.
partridge in a pear tree.
Yeah.
I just want to
You just want to touch a
take
Yoda?
this and.
Maybe we have 1 Yoda.
Oh.
So yeah, let's ask some questions.
Okay.
I actually
Ready.
have fan mail for you that somebody sent to me
Oh my.
because my address is public and yours is not. So
I've been trying to work that out for a while.
full disclosure, I pre-opened it to make sure it wasn't anthrax.
Thank you. Is
It's
it
just cocaine.
Yeah, it's Metallica. Which side did you? Oh, there it is. Oop.
Wow.
Oh, that's cool.
That's dope as hell.
It's Miles Morales Spider-Man by Renegade Artist.
Love it.
Well, thank you, Renegade Artist. That is super rad. Oh, there's a note too. What if I can't read? I'm gonna break your bar too while I'm at
Oh
it.
my God.
I fucked it all up. Okay. Should I do a dramatic reading of the note? Let's see. Hey, man. No, that's the wrong.
Clarence, I'm a big fan.
Hello, I'm a big fan of Fat Man Beyond, Fat Man and Batman. And, oh, I don't have my glasses. And from it, a fan of yours. As great as Kevin is, it's your switched on and sometimes more cynical personality that gives the show such a great chemistry. No offense to the great Kevin Smith, but this is why Blackman on Batman is just as amusing to watch as the two of you together. I'm an artist in Cape May, New Jersey, and being that I'm an artist, I don't have the means to go on a show in Hollywood and live this and give this to you in person. However, hearing you a part of the conversation that helped create Miles Morales, I wanted to get this to you anyway. I hope you dig the painting as much as I did creating it. Love always, Renegade.
You're a wizard, Harry.
You're a wizard, Harry!
Great.
All right. I don't know what impression that was. That was just a rich white guy. Kind of cultured, inbred. But yes, so questions. What you got, JC? Come into the spotlight.
Hello.
Hey, man, what's your
Hi.
name?
I'm James.
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 How you doing?
Good to meet you, man. How are you?
Good. You know, I've been a fan of the show for a very long time.
Oh, well, thank you for coming out, man. I
Yeah.
appreciate
Thank
it.
All the way
you.
from New York. Today's my birthday, actually.
What?
Hey.
Well, as is our tradition, we have to sing you happy birthday.
Oh man.
All right, so everybody, pipe up. You ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear James. Happy birthday to you. Pavarotti just for you, man.
Sweet. Thank you. That was amazing.
No, it wasn't, but I appreciate you also lying. What's your question, man?
All right, my question is, you know, within the past couple of years, there's always been these like arguments over like there's too many superhero movies, too many IPs, there's not enough original ideas. But then original movies come out, nobody goes to see them, and it's like I feel like this year it's like where you know there's the movies that people are talking about at the end of the year are now more original movies, and I just feel like this argument it just bothers me. I think it's stupid, and I think as a guy who loves superhero movies and I love other movies, it's just like I don't know. Do you guys think that any of that's valid still? Like, do you think that like? Because I feel like the big movies that come out this year between Joker and Endgame, yet we're still talking about like Jojo Rabbit and all these other original movies that I feel like are now talked about more. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Do you have a feeling on it?
Well, I hope that it shows the studios that they can take risks on things like this. But it is also, I think it's a two-way street. I think the more marketing they put that makes it available for people to find these things. Like when I think of like whatever gets on the front page of Netflix, there's things that come out on Netflix all the time. But if you get the front page, then you know like everyone sitting down that weekend is gonna see that. And that's how I was gonna say when The Punisher wasn't on the front page, I was like, oh no. The second season or the third season, I was like, no, this is getting canceled.
Oh, it's
This
over.
is not. It just came out. But yeah, but I also think it's a big thing of like the audience actually showing up, like actually going out and showing up to these indie movies.
Totally. I mean, I think that there have always been, and by always I mean since like 1978, like the big ass fucking giant movies, and then the smaller kind of art house movies. But there had also always been this like wide middle of the kind of movies that just used to get made, you know, like 40, 50, 60 million dollar just like fucking movies. What is it? I'm gonna go see Fugitive, or I'm gonna go see Presumed Innocent, or I'm gonna name some other Harrison Ford movie, or I'm gonna go see a romantic comedy, or I'm gonna go see Silverado, I'm gonna go see, like there used to be a lot of different shit. That was all fueled by home video, the rental market. Was that they knew they could make their money back at home video, and then once DVDs became a thing that sold, they knew they could sell DVDs. That has vanished. Like we've gone from being a collector culture to a just accessible culture. You don't need to own it anymore, you just need to be able to have access to it, and that makes you happy. But that has erased that financial initiative that made studios make all of those kind of movies. And so, yeah, we're still going to get your Endgames, and, you know, apparently there's going to be like 9 more Transformers movies. And then
There's a Joker every year.
a Joker every year.
By law.
And then we're still going to get those same Oscar movies that they used to make before because they're hungry for awards. You're going to get your Jojo Rabbits and your Little Women's and your Parasites. Those things are always going to happen. But it was that, like, mid-range movie that, like, hey, this was just like an adult murder. This was fucking, you know, The Intern. Or this was When Harry Met Sally. Or this was
You
Princess
Mean
Bride.
Dupree.
You Mean Dupree. Like, comedies don't get made that much as they used to anymore.
We had the Good Boys this year.
Yeah, there's always like 1 or 2. I mean, but either they're micro budget like Booksmart, or occasionally there's a Game Night or Good Boys. They'll
Well,
take
but
one
even
swing.
Booksmart was seen as not doing well.
Yeah.
You know?
And so I think that's what we're missing. And I think that's what people are beginning to feel that they don't have anymore. And that's where Netflix is beginning to step in and say, oh, we'll do The Irishman. We know you don't want to do The Irishman for reasons that don't make sense because you don't think adults will go to the movies to see like the Avengers of old Italian mobsters. It turns out that they would have gone if you gave it to them. And I think that it's shifting and it's changing. And the things we get to see in the movies are not the things we used to get all the time in the movies. And so now it just, like I introduced a screening of Pitch Black at the Alamo Drafthouse. And I was and one of the things we talked about was the fact that that was a movie that cost $32 million that was based on nothing but a really good script. And you couldn't do that today. You literally could not pry $30 million from a studio to just make an original thing. Unless you then stocked it with like Inception. Like we got fucking Leo DiCaprio and we got Christopher Nolan and they want to make this movie and we're not going to say no because we want one of them to make another Batman movie for us. It's harder to get that done than it used to be. And that's where I'm beginning to feel a little bit of like, oh man, we used to do that. Remember like District 9 wasn't an anomaly. It just kind of happened a lot. Remember you just got like a RoboCop and that was super cool and we're not getting that anymore. So I don't think it's good or bad. I mean, because I think the business is shifting, as it always does. But I think I'm mindful of the fact of the things that we're not getting as much as we used to, where we used to get them.
Yeah.
Cool?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, man. Well, now come and get some shit, James. Man, there's prizes, man. You going back to New York?
I'm still here for another whole until next week.
Kick ass. All right. Let's see. Which T-shirt would you like? That's the benefit of asking the first question. You get the best pick of T-shirts. And that's Hydra, X-Men. X-Men and some tickets. Thanks, man. Take it easy.
Thanks.
Hey, man, what's your name?
Hi guys, I'm Benno from Australia.
Australia?
Cool.
I think, okay, you might have won the... I think you've won the I came furthest for this show.
I
Because I'm
came
going
to
to
see
assume
yourself, and I
that
came to
it's
see
this show.
Kev, and Kev, you're looking great.
Thank you.
The road's been good to you, Kev. You did not
Thick
look...
Latina.
Yes. He's been trying to do that for years. He had thick down. He didn't have Latina.
I wanted to mention one thing about The Mandalorian as well. When Carl Weathers come in, do we not just want to see, like, Carl Weathers and The Mandalorian do the big hand on hand that Arnold Schwarzenegger did from The Predator?
Oh,
You just see Carl and The Mandalorian. Hey, Mando!
you're getting weak, man, huh? See, I got you pushing too many pencils.
But one of my favorite things from the show is usually when Kev looks at you and goes, I want that script. I'd like to hear, you've got Loki, you've got WandaVision, and was it Captain and the
Falcon and Winter
Falcon
Soldier.
and the Arrow? Can we hear one script? Anything from you, just something that you would think you'd like to see from those?
Okay. An episode of those shows, or like
No, just one.
or one new
just
thing?
one
Like if I
series.
could pick any comic book from the
No,
Marvel
those
universe.
one of those 3 series that are coming out. What information that we've got so far is very, very small.
Okay. I think Loki is going to give you the most bang for your buck. Like if you had to just pick one of those shows to make an episode out of, given that he's got the Tesseract and he can now travel through time again. I feel like you kind of want to see Loki fuck some shit up in a big bad way. Like I think you want to see him. I mean, the thing they could do, which would be kind of awesome, is if he's responsible for the capsule accident that creates the Fantastic Four. Like if he is if he is in that
I want to
fucking
see
lab,
that show. See?
like and he just bamfs in, it's like I need more particles or whatever, and just sucks a little bit from that fucking capsule, and they go to outer space and shit goes wrong. It's like, oh, I didn't mean to do that. I was just trying to kill some kids in my basement, and I created another super team.
That is awesome.
But yeah, I mean, they're going to try and find a way to introduce a Fantastic Four at some point, and I think Loki lets you do a lot of the things you might want to do without being bound by continuity that much, and just change shit. Like, hey, look, he fucked it up in a good way.
Low key, they might do that. They might do that. Do you love? I love that your thing is so thought out, and I was like, I just want to see him dating.
I would like to see Loki on like a first date.
Yeah.
Is
I want like
he going to be on
slice of
Bachelors?
life.
Loki on Bachelors. Rose for you.
Oh my gosh.
that'd be
I just
great.
want to see his downtime.
Yeah, like does Loki have game?
Yeah.
Or is it just all magic?
Eating Cheetos, playing PlayStation.
I know. Is he the guy that's like I'm 6'11" or whatever in his profile?
It's like
His picture is like him and a dog, even though he doesn't own it. His roommate's dog.
Totally.
This
It's like,
didn't happen to me.
I really love puppies. I love genocide. Long walks in the park, especially after the genocide when there's
I want
nobody
to
else
see
there.
his like illegitimate kid that just like shows up one day at his work.
Dad, it's me, Kevin. Kevin Loki's son.
Can pay some child support. Come on.
Have you seen Elf? That's basically what I want. I want.
That would be fucking awesome. The Loki Christmas special.
Yes. A very Disney Christmas.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Awesome,
Thank
man.
you.
Thank you. When do you head back to Australia?
A couple more days here and then Vegas and then back to the new Star Wars.
All right.
Disneyland.
Well, then take some shit. I will say,
Baby Yoda.
take a Baby Yoda. You want some movie tickets, or you're not going to be able to hit the movies?
I won't be able to hit them.
All right, man. Baby Yoda's all yours.
I need to pitch my WandaVision script.
Ooh,
Okay.
what you got?
They end up in 1980s San Francisco, late 80s, early 90s, in the Tanner household.
Yes.
And you have Elizabeth Olsen meeting her little big sisters. Because in the trailer, she's
Oh
like
my
in the Brady
God.
Bunch house and Leave It to Beaver. Put her in the fucking Full House, please.
Nice. Good pull.
Loki is Uncle Jesse. Thank you very much.
All right. I think, okay, before you ask your question, Andy,
Yes.
we are going to, now it becomes a sort of applausometer for the Baby Yoda. We have one
Ooh.
Yoda left.
No,
so
no,
the
no,
best
I want the
question,
tickets.
Well, you
I'm
can-
still in town for the week, so I
you
kind
get
of want
some
to get
fucking
tickets.
I'm just saying. Baby Yoda's going to get to go to the best
Oh,
question.
okay. It's the child, to be honest. We don't know it's Baby Yoda. Let's not,
No.
put the wagon, hitch the wagon for, the horse and all that. So, okay.
amazing.
I'm
so-
sorry, John Favreau.
What you got, man?
So this is what I'm gonna pitch. And jumping off of writing our scripts and stuff. Crisis on Infinite Earth finally introduced the possibility of a Green Lantern. They hinted it and stuff. I've been dying for it. Like, I love Green Lantern because for me, it is the one hero that you have to have strong will. Doesn't matter where you're from, you just have to be right. And for me, growing up, Jon Stewart is Green Lantern. You know what I mean? I like, it's more than just, you don't have to be from outer space, you don't have to be an orphan with $1 billion, you don't have to be anything. So I really like that idea. Mm-hmm. So my question is this, if we were to do a Green Lantern, and this goes for both of you, because I've always pictured Denzel playing Jon Stewart. Mm-hmm. And if we did a female version, Salma Hayek, I'm sorry, I'm a real big From Dusk Till Dawn fan, but she could. In reality, all you need is goodwill, right? So why not? So for both of you, if we could pitch a Green Lantern script, genders doesn't matter, race doesn't matter, whatever. If we could do it, who would you pick, and who would you have as the villain? Because movie's only as good as the counterpart to it, right?
I'm afraid that I'm still caught on Salma Hayek playing Green Lantern.
Oh, I know. She'd kill it, though, to be honest.
For like every good reason.
Oh, and she has to have the Frida Kahlo, the
unibrow.
Yeah.
Well, I think if I'm not mistaken, Lamont didn't they toss up? I'm sorry, Lamont, my friend in the corner, who's trying to run away. He works on Black Lightning and was kind of involved in a lot of that shit. Now I did not see the finale of Arrow, but I have it on good authority from people who did see it that John Diggle is Green Lantern.
I from the beginning thought it was him.
Yeah, so...
Well, yeah, because they have that scene where they're like, oh, where's your ring?
Mm-hmm.
I caught that.
Yeah, and it's all like glowy green, and it's on his face. And it's like, oh, clearly, that dude is now...
But also, HBO Max announced a Green Lantern series.
Yeah, they're doing
I don't
that.
know if that's new. I mean, that was literally in the news. But
Right. But if I had my dream Green Lantern...
Yes.
Uh...
No. And Idris Elba's
As
off the table.
Deadpool.
You can't put him in everything.
Okay, can I cast him time non-specific?
You can cast him whatever.
Okay.
I mean, but it has
because
to
now
fit
I'm
the story.
like, hey, Jim Brown, I think you might make a fucking awesome Green Lantern. Ooh, Robert Redford. Young fucking Robert Redford.
All right, but which lantern is he, or are we just not?
I mean,
putting him
he's
as any.
fucking like Billy the Lantern.
All right. Sounds good to me.
No, fucking yeah. Like, we'll pretend that he is just, he's Green Lantern.
Like I've always liked the idea, what Chris Nolan did. Like, you don't have to start with a heavy. Like, I'd like for the first Green Lantern outing to be like the Manhunter's, like, just, throwaway character, and then lead up to something bigger. So who would you put at villain if Robert Redford was fighting? Who would be fighting?
Owen Wilson.
Whoa. I mean, I would want to keep it on Earth. I think you keep it grounded. One of my Rebel Wilson, Rebin and Owen Wilson, as
All the Wilsons.
All the Wilsons, Rita Wilson, the fucking balls.
Ryan Wilson from the beach.
The Wilson.
Wilson.
Tom Hanks, Wilson,
Tom Hanks,
volleyball.
Wilson, yeah. I think you keep it on Earth because I remember when I saw the movie. Like, I've never been the biggest Green Lantern fan, but I remember seeing the movie, and my son, who was then like 7, goes, so there's a lot of Green Lanterns. And I said, yeah, buddy. And he's not even like the best one? Yeah, that's right. It's like, so why is this movie about him? And I said, I don't know. Like, that's fair point. It's a giant fucking space cop movie, and there's a lot of cops that are better at this and, like, gooder than he is. So I think you want to keep it about Green Lantern as the one Green Lantern and keep it on Earth. I think your bad guy's fucking Lobo, man.
Love him. Oof.
I
I
think
love you,
fucking
Mark.
Lobo comes to
That's why I
Earth
love
and fucks some shit up,
Ugh.
and then Green Lantern's got to
What
figure
about
it
you,
out.
Monami? Who would
It's
you put?
my fan fiction. I kind of wish that they had. I hope that they do if whatever series that it's like someone that's maybe undiscovered, because I feel like I know LaMonica Garrett tweeted because someone was like, oh, there's a new Green Lantern over at this, and he was like, I mean, he did like the eyes, like the eye, but also I feel like. For Jon Stewart, I could also see, because now his show isn't around, but Mike Coulter can pop over now that he's not Luke Cage. But that's what I mean. I'm like, you already got your superhero, but here you go again. You're so
Yeah.
good.
We
and
like you so
sexy.
much. And you're shiny.
Yeah.
In all the right shiny
You know what's so
ways.
funny? Somebody had a tweet, and it was like, it was when Luke Cage was airing, and it was like the wildest thing that's going on here is that this man would work at a barber shop and not be a male model. He's just so hot.
Yeah. Or like a gigolo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
least
selling that
least
ass.
amount of hair and works at a barber shop. Kind of weird.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's like taking advice.
Luke Cage's OnlyFans.
There we go. It's a good series.
Sweet Christmas.
There we go.
Well, so I think there's like men that or people that come to mind when it comes to Jon Stewart, but I also do kind of think it would be great to cast someone that's like up and coming and give them a new platform to be a superhero.
Nick Cannon. Nah.
Yeah, we're not doing Green Lantern in college, right? Like,
Yeah,
that's
fuck
tough
Nick
one.
Cannon.
There we go.
Sorry.
Yep.
So yeah, that my pick is Redford against Lobo, played by Jason Momoa, because of course he should be Lobo. And you are going for an unknown, brand new person. Do you have a bad guy in mind?
For Lobo? I always thought that was Joe Manganiello. He always rang as Lobo for me.
Okay. All right. I was
I
looking
mean,
for
he literally played a wolf, like in
Yeah.
True Blood.
Yeah, and I can see that. I was looking for more. Like I think there's a dirty hot to Momoa that I don't know if Manganiello can summon. Then again, I didn't see much of True Blood, so I don't know how dirty hot he can be.
Oh, he can be dirty. Yeah, him. I don't know who. They're interchangeable.
Rob Gronkowski.
There you go.
There we go. Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Anyone.
Does that answer your question, man?
Answer
Nick
perfectly.
Lachey.
Nick
There
Lachey.
we go. Thank you.
Awesome, dude. Thank you. Come get
Thank
some
you.
tickets. Yes, it's all yours, man. Thank you. Would you like more? We'll see what happens at the end of the show. Just slow your roll. Hey!
Hi.
How are you? Tell the people what your name is.
I'm Autumn, like
Hello,
the
Autumn.
season. And actually, in the Injustice 2 mobile game, Jon Stewart kind of looks like Mahershala Ali.
Oh.
So I would be kind of down for that because if you play the game, it looks very much like him. So I would.
Okay. I mean,
that would
he's blading right now, but I think that there's a world in which he can
I
be
know
a
you
man of
could-
two worlds.
That could be like a star-making one, but it'd be cool to see him in that kind of role.
Yes.
My question is related to anime, since you like anime, and I know you've been watching Dragon Prince.
I am fucking all about Dragon Prince.
Oh, yay.
Oh my God, it's my new favorite thing. I love it to death. Have you seen it?
No.
You should watch it.
Is it on Netflix?
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 seasons. Half an hour long each episode. I blazed through it in like 8 days. So good. So good! Sorry, I got excited.
I did that with The Circle, and I feel really bad about myself.
This will make
I
you feel
watched
good
it
about
in
yourself.
24 hours. It was not
That's
healthy.
not- no, that's not good for you. There's no protein in that.
Yeah, but I follow Shoe Bomb, who's one of the. I don't know if you guys know Shuby. Anyways, I'm the only Circle fan in here. It's sad. I'm moving on. It's like Big Brother, but okay.
But worse.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
But worse, yeah.
worse.
But
Didn't they just
scarier.
pick, like the winner? Like, didn't someone just win it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not
What
gonna
happens when you
spoil
win
it.
the circle? Like, do you move into the square? Is it just like a series of shapes?
You go back to your normal life. They get $100,000.
Yeah. And it's all
And like
social media thing.
300,000 followers on Instagram or whatever from this one show that they did. It's wild and I'm jealous.
It is no Great British Baking Show where you know what they win in the Great British Baking Show? A fucking plate.
I know.
That's it. There's no money. There's
So-
no prize. You're the best baker in London.
Everyone talked about this show forever, and I finally sat down and watched it during Christmas, and they like cooked this magnificent meal, and I was like, holy crap. And then they're like, and your next thing, and I'm like, what? Let these people sit. Like, I would be exhausted. I would be like, I'm done for the day. This is abusive.
They're in a tent all weekend long baking all kinds of shit
It's not
for
cool.
no money.
And no safe
And
words.
who eats it?
I mean, Paul Hollywood eats it. Look at that dude. He's just fucking scarfing like a madman. Rah! Anyway, anime. Hey.
Given kind of the surge of anime becoming even more popular, and Death Note, the live one,
Yeah.
was not good. But given the popularity, which one would you pull? I would say you could do new ones like a Dragon Prince, like One Piece, but something, a classic one, like an older one. And what would you do with that now? Like, if you could do it as a TV series, as a movie, live action, and how would you go about it? 'Cause
Okay,
there's some good
listen.
ones.
This is my thing.
No, you take it.
Glow, but instead Sailor Moon.
I could say that.
Ooh.
It's like 80s Sailor Moon,
But then
right?
Jupiter would like kick all
You like
that.
go back. It's their school days, but like Sailor Moon. Oh, it'd be so amazing. Oh my gosh. They did actually deal with a lot of stuff. I don't know if you've watched it, but it was like they, would deal with like dating and Tuxedo Mask, being a fuckboy, update
But
it.
he would be a luchador.
Yes.
and then all of a sudden it's like, here comes the White Knight, and then you're trying to figure out.
I think that they're going to do Sailor Moon. I mean, it's such a huge franchise. I know that they have iterations of it live action, but I think over here, I think that would be a great series. I think that could be a great television series.
Because they started booting it again and sort of re-airing, but also the new one. I haven't seen the new one because I don't know how I
There's
feel
many
about
iterations of it.
Yes.
There's many iterations.
Okay, I'm of two minds.
Okay.
The first mind is ridiculous, but I would do the Lions Voltron version because I fucking love the Lions. The Lions was my jam as a kid.
Yes.
It makes no sense. No sense at all. Like, why do you build lions? Why not just fucking people? Why do they have to then become a giant person, which you know you're gonna do anyway? So just make the fucking giant person. Why we gotta deal with this bullshit of like, I don't know, what happened to the pink lion? I don't know. But I still think it's so fucking rad. I love the design. It's so silly that you embrace it and then it becomes awesome. Or Samurai Champloo.
Oh, especially with the hip hop, like.
Yeah, I think sort of melding that kind of like
Nujabes,
Edo period in Japan and fucking like Ronin tooling around with a badass fucking hip hop score and just doing period but with a total modern sensibility. It becomes Hamilton with swords in a way that could be awesome.
The Bachelor, but with Tenchi Muyo.
Ooh.
Damn.
Just a lot of hot babes.
Yeah.
Just that was like some over the top shit. You're like, no, that's cute. Bam! Over the top. Just
I
trying-
send this directly to Netflix.
I'm just trying to keep up.
I literally work for them. I'm so
Send those to the
literally
people
a
that
writer
pay
there.
my checks.
Just gonna clip
You
this.
gotta give money to Zach.
Edit this.
I know. I also I know it's dumb, but in a post-Cats world, I kind of really want Thundercats.
Yeah. No, that will happen.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, you could do that.
There are some franchises that I'm like, whether you like it or not, they're gonna be made live action.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's just too much money, too much nostalgia.
And Thundercats would be so fucking problematic at this point for any number of reasons, and yet I totally want to do it because Panthro,
This isn't-
nunchucks, and that's weird, but sure, and Tiger and these children, and all of it.
This is an anime, but the scariest thing I want to see live action is Hey Arnold.
Oh,
How would you do
Dani,
football head though?
Why would you do that?
Because I can. Look, if they could do The Irishman, they can do Hey Arnold.
Just
Because I'm mad with power. Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Before this gets any worse,
Yeah.
did that answer
Yeah.
your question?
Yes, and I
Great.
would do Project A-ko added to
Okay.
the Marvel universe.
That's dope.
Because she is the kid of superheroes like Superman and Wonder Woman. So I would see something like that of the
All
next
right.
generation.
Okay,
Well-
Netflix just.
Yeah, give you money to make these things. Okay, so what would you like? Tickets and T-shirt? Okay. We'll see
Thank
about giving this
you.
away.
Hi.
Hello. What's your name?
Leah,
Leah. It's good to meet you.
good to meet you.
What's your question?
I just wanted to say, I've been listening to the podcast since it was Kevin talking to Paul Dini in his closet. And the show is so great since you came on.
Oh,
I think it's great that you're going on your own. I think you had... We love the show when it started as Kevin because he loves everything. Or he only talks about the stuff that he loves, and he talks about the things he loves and stuff, even he didn't love all of the stuff. Batman v Superman. But you, even though people criticize you for being critical, you come from a place of love. You enjoy things just like him. You just not an apologist for things, and that critical lens really adds so much to chewing in and dissecting and responding to films. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much. That's super kind of you. I come at this stuff like it's okay. We love things not for their perfections, but for their flaws. And so acknowledging the reasons why they're flawed helps us love it more.
Right.
Unless it's, Batman v Superman.
And for the opportunities they give us for the next iteration. Like comic books, there's always going to be another iteration of this IP.
Totally.
So my question is to do with that. In the age of the consolidation of IP into these mega franchises, these mega holders of different IP, How likely or unlikely do you think it is that we're going to get a main character that is queer? And I don't mean a villain. I mean a main character or a main, supporting character who is like not, cis or straight in any of these mega franchises, Marvel, etc. It took Marvel 18 films to not have a white man as the main character to give us Black Panther. It took us 20 films to get a female main character. I think it's going to take even longer to get anything other than that, though I'm hopeful. Kevin Feige said, of Marvel at least, that we're going to get some representation, but I don't know what that means, And I think you're probably as cynical as I am, but you probably have a slightly more nuanced view. And I'm interested in your point of view also.
I too am cynical, but if there is one thing that I think you can trust in Hollywood is that they will chase money where they see it hanging on trees for them. And if Black Panther and Wonder Woman has taught them anything, it's that underserved audiences will overperform and overrepresent in the box office because it's water in the desert. Like, I've never seen this, so I will go see it 9 times to make sure I get to see it again. And I think they know that now. And I think that they understand that there is a huge LGBTQIA audience out there that's waiting for this. And if it comes to them, they will support it like nobody's fucking business. And that's money on the table for them. I mean, creatively, not even talking about that. Spiritually, not even talking about that. Purely mercenarily, the way Hollywood works is they will go to where the money is, and there's money here. So I think that it will happen 100%. When it happens, I don't know. I think sooner rather than later, honestly, because I think they're reading those tea leaves as anybody else is, and they're beginning to realize the overperformance of movies like that. I remember when they were first starting to track the box office predictions for Black Panther, and it started at like $110 million opening weekend. That's amazing. Then it went to like $140 million opening weekend. This was like a couple of weeks out. Then it went to like $160 million. Then it showed at like $210 million opening weekend. It was a $100 million gap between what they thought it was going to be and what it actually was. And that is because they didn't understand that audience, which is, again, you gave me a thing I've always wanted. I'm going to come and show out for that.
Water in the desert.
Totally. So I think that is what we'll get, that kind of representation on screen, is pure economic greed, which is the one thing you can always count on.
I did want to say, though, Black Lightning and the CW has been like really repping queer characters, like just openly gay. Like just openly, as they all should be. And I feel like there actually are, at least the actors of a lot of in these franchises have kind of hinted at like, oh no, my character is queer. But I understand what you're saying is like, and can we see that though? You know, because of course there's like a ton of queer baiting and like a lot of this stuff. And I agree with you. I think that I think it's time that we have the main title character. It's just so weird that these take place in. It's how I felt about Game of Thrones, which, like, this is just going to be a tiny rant, but it was just like, yeah, but, like, during that time, there wasn't really, people of color. I'm like, what time? The dragon time? That doesn't make sense. Like, if we can have a dragon, you can have a black person. Like, it just, and so that's how I feel about some of these, and that it's, like, people that have kind of, and they're changing, but it's an audience that is, like, so angrily held on to things, and what we talk about when you were even on my show is they'll be like, well, that's not the source material. And it's like, look, we weren't allowed in the source material. Like, we weren't allowed to be in a lot of these comics that started back in the 40s and the 50s. And now it needs to be reflected. It should have we always existed. We were always here, but now it's like more than ever, it should be reflective. It doesn't make sense. If you can shoot fireballs, you can have a bi person. Like,
I think there's ways to do it. Like, if I'm Marvel, I make Loki pansexual. Because, duh!
Right.
Like, clearly, that character would be. And
I believe he is in the comics.
Yeah, like, and he's moved past being a villain. Like, he's no longer the big bad anymore. He's now the protagonist of his own TV show, which, again, front and center. And he has, even in the films, in Ragnarok, and in Infinity War, like, reclaimed his sense of honor and heroism to the point where, like, yeah, why wouldn't you do that? You could do that, it costs you nothing to do that. And the people who are going to show up for Loki, which of course they will be like, oh, yeah, that guy, Quicksilver tongue, everybody likes one of those. Why wouldn't he be? And I think that there's...
That's kind of what Donald Glover was saying about Lando.
Yeah, like that dude fucks everything.
Yeah. Equal opportunity. Everyone wants
men,
to fuck him, and
women,
he fucks everyone.
robots,
Why wouldn't
spaceships. Like, that dude will mount up for whatever comes through the door.
Yeah.
He's there for it. Like, he's got a giant fucking cape baron in the back of his... Like, I think that we're going to get it in ways that won't feel quite as showy as, here's our first gay hero, and more like this is a thing that's been hiding in plain sight that we've seen all along. And by making it that kind of Trojan horse, you will get an audience who would avoid it to become enraptured by it and forced to come and see it. And I do love that about kind of the way modern media seems to be working, which is, let me Trojan horse a thing you don't want in a thing we know you're going to love.
Yeah.
Watchmen was that. Watchmen was, let me Trojan horse a very trenchant look at black pain in America inside a superhero drama that absolutely people who would not have tuned in for a trenchant look at black pain in America would tune in because I think Dr. Manhattan's going to be here, right? Wait, he's a black dude? What? You know, I mean, Black Panther did that. You had to see Black Panther if you were a Marvel fan. Whether or not you would have ever showed up for that if it's not Black Panther, you were going to come. Wonder Woman, you had to go fucking see that. We built an audience that will show up for this stuff. And now giving them a thing they didn't think they were going to like and turns out that they love is sort of like great innovation of like the late teens and the early aughts of you're going to dig it. You have no choice. Does that answer things?
Yeah, hopefully.
Awesome. All right, this is our last set of tickets. And you can pick a t-shirt if you would like one.
Also, how easy would a Valkyrie movie be to sell? Or a
Well, that's what-
miniseries,
yeah.
right?
I'm like,
Yeah,
oof.
no brainer. No brainer. All right, we got one more question, one more set of tickets. We were hiding, but now fuck it, let's put it out there.
Fuck it, why not?
Fuck it, why not? Hello.
Hi, how's it going?
You know, pretty good. In a
Good.
bar on a Tuesday night. Like I'm a degenerate, so I feel at home.
Could be worse, right?
In every way. I could have been watching the State of the Union, and I wasn't because I'm here
True.
Hard pass.
with nerds.
Hard pass. So that was an awesome question, and that was a really good segue into what I was going to ask.
Hey.
Well, actually, first of all, I loved you guys both on the Crisis Aftermath thing.
Yay.
I thought that was a
Thank
really
you.
dope dynamic, and I
Thank
wish you guys
you.
had done it for all of the episodes, or at least like a wrap-up one. So,
That'd been
alas.
fun.
Yeah.
Next
we'll
time.
do it again.
We'll do it again. Right, Lamont?
next
We'll
time.
do this again?
Yeah, please.
No.
Okay, never mind.
Well, they have the Hall of Justice now, so they got it, right?
I know, they gotta put some shit in there. Look like an empty Pier 1 Imports. With just like one table.
It's a little creepy.
A little creepy.
Okay, so something I've been thinking about a lot recently and would love to get your guys' take on is we've had Wonder Woman, we've had Captain Marvel, we've had Black Widow. Who would you want to see as the first woman of color to helm one of those big IP movies? It doesn't necessarily have to be DC or Marvel, but like one that's going to be on that scale. And how would you, if we haven't already met her, how would you sort of bring her into, how would you intro her?
I got one.
Okay.
I think there's a way to do a story about a young thief in Cairo who's sort of like living this hardscrabble life and has had the worst fucking, like fate has handed her the worst hand at every turn until it turns out that she can make it rain. You know, I think you could absolutely do a Storm movie. I think that it seems as if it's an early in the kind of X-Men run, because you know they're going to do one of those for everybody. But to like come in early and come in on that story and orient us in that version of the real world, which will inform how she treats everybody in the Xavier Mansion when she gets there. Because she has always gotten the shortest shrift in any of those movies. She's just like literally color on the borders. And I think that to center that story, to center sort of like child endangerment and refugees and all of that shit, but make it about an X-person, whatever they're going to call that franchise, I think would be kind of fun. And I think we get Barry Jenkins to make this movie. I think fuck it. Like, let's aim for the stars. If we're going to do it.
I'm okay.
Here for
My
it.
now I'm like, what? Wait, I did have a good idea. Okay, so maybe, Peter Parker has to graduate eventually. I know that he's 23 and he's playing 16. That's fine. I love you, Tom Holland. But I would love to see him in his college years. And at his college, he runs into a college-age girl named America Chavez.
What?
Who's also in college. And, has to save the world and also do college things, as you do.
Ripping bong hits.
She's a tridelt. I would love, I think that they are going to introduce America Chavez into the Disney Plus series. However, a lot of those are interlapping. And I really do think that she can have her own movie. And I think the Latinx community will show up for it, as we do. We were there for Dora.
We got the one.
We would love to have more. We would love to have more. And I think it needs to be done well, as they all do. But that's how I feel about a lot of another things that we didn't say about Black Panther is that it had to do well, right? There's always this we don't get the second chance. We don't get the So I would love for it to be lovingly made by someone that I don't know. I'm trying to think who I'd want that. But yeah, I think there could be a college. Yeah, he could do it. He said Robert Rodriguez. I would love a woman,
I was gonna
though.
say female, female director.
But when I think of my friend Gloria Calderon-Kellett, who's in comedy, and she's also a director, and I think that would be great to have a comedic. I feel like I love the Marvel films that live in that world, like Spider-Man. So I would love to see America Chavez comedy, college age. I've already pitched it. Thank you, Marvel.
Yeah, you should. I think Alfonso Cuarón would be interesting.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Just because my favorite movie of his is the third Harry Potter movie. And it's about kids. It's about the sort of rambunctiousness of children living in this magical world in which there are rules they want to break all the time. And that gave life to that series. It would have been dead in the water if you don't have somebody to just find a way to pull it out of these bullshit robes and these crazy static buildings and actually give everything the sense of life, which is the thing that he does really well. I think he'd be, if you had to start making a list, I think he goes on.
And Oscar Isaac's her professor. I mean, come on.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Her dean's Pedro Pascal. I mean.
Listen, we're just not casting your fantasy reel of
Selma Hayek's one of her moms. I mean, I've already done it.
I don't care if anybody goes to see this. You just need to make this movie for me.
Her fairy godmother's Jennifer Lopez. It's we're already there.
Or Rita Moreno.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Well, then Gloria has to direct it.
And scene.
And done.
I would watch both of those movies. I was also thinking about Storm, but I was thinking, so there's some versions of it where she's actually from Wakanda and she's a love interest for T'Challa, but what if she ends up being a love interest for Shuri when Shuri becomes Black Panther and then she gets a feed off from that?
Shuri's another person that I think could have her own film.
Yeah.
100%.
And could also be queer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, part of me wants to keep, I appreciated what they did when they made, they found a way to unite Black Panther and Storm in the comic books. But the same token, it's so the only two black people in this entire universe have to get married because they don't know anybody else? Couldn't she just have her own thing and he has his own thing and they meet at the clubhouse hey, what up? And that's it, but...
Well, but I think she was also Wakandan in the 90s animated series, right? It wasn't just that.
Right.
Maybe
I mean, there's tenuous threads that do make sense, but it was always no, I get it, but do we have to? But no, that's a great question. Thank you. Come and get some shit.
Thank you.
So it's for you. You have this one time. Well, you don't need to take these. Yeah, well, you can have the shirt for sure, and then we'll do the quick poll for who gets the last bullshit black market Baby Yoda imported from China, which may or
It's
may...
actually just Kermit the Frog.
I know. It's...
Just like a Muppet baby.
It's leftover Spaceballs merch. That's just an old Mel Brooks doll. So who do we think? Who do we think gets the Magic Yoda doll? We just had that last question. We had Autumn's question about anime and live action. We had first LGBTQIA hero in the center of it.
Oh my gosh.
There was one more in there that I can't remember.
Are people voting or are we voting?
I think we're going to do a little bit of applause.
Okay.
So, round of applause, and we'll test the meter. Who should be our Green Lantern? Yeah, you're not getting a doll, man.
He didn't want it.
He didn't really want it. Okay, so James for his birthday. Live action anime.
I appreciated.
Female Marvel hero or DC hero to get her own spotlight movie. And LGBTQ centered in a drama.
Those were very...
Oh, I think it's that one, right? Or is it James's birthday?
Okay. I've been swayed.
Birthday?
I'm easily bought.
All right, James. Come here and
All
get
right,
some
James.
Yoda.
Only happens once a year, every single year.
I know. Happy birthday, James.
Happy birthday.
Man alive, that is an episode of Blackman Beyond. Have you guys had fun tonight? Oh. Well, this particular podcast does not exist without the person to my right. Where can people find you in the world, Dani Fernandez?
I'm at Ms. Dani Fernandez. It's MsDaniFernandez. And if you follow me, you can see all my show announcements and every time I'm on a podcast or doing something live or at Comic-Con. And yeah.
I cannot thank you enough for giving me your Tuesday night on the heels of what sounded like a marathon couple of days of work.
Yeah.
So yes, it means the world to me. Thank you for coming to play with me behind a bar in Hollywood.
Thank you.
Yay.
Thank you. All I wanted to do was pitch my Batman Catman. That's it. That's why I came. I got the script in my trunk.
You know, I feel like I'm glad that we were able to make that dream come true.
You're gonna laugh and then you'll see Catman announced and you'll be like, she did it.
Nope.
She did it.
Summoned it into the world. We are not back next Tuesday, but we are back on the 18th for the last Blackman Beyond of this particular run. Carrie Payton is going to be my special guest host. King Ezekiel from Walking Dead, voice of Cyborg in 1,000 versions of Justice League. But yeah, he's going to hold it down with me. Do a less good job, but whatever. And those
Is he also a thick Latina?
I've seen his ass. Not going to say why. He is not. I fear that this will be the last of the thick Latina run, but you held it down.
Thank you.
So yes, tickets for that will go on sale shortly. Until then, we will be back. Same black time, same black channel. YouTube.com/Kevin Smith, Smodcast.com, all the things. Thank you for coming, everybody. Get home safe.
Hey.